The last time on the wilds of Valandiir, the crown collectors, having traversed this hot and heavy and fiery and volcano wasteland in pursuit of their missing crew member, Maeven, they met some of the locals, they fought some of the monsters, they came out on top here, they got scorched there. It's very uncomfortable here. Everybody is constantly hacking up phlegm from soot and sweat and everything in between. You got your way into a village of these kind of primitive, cavemen-y, tribal, pink-skinned pig people with, like, they got, like, weird black horns and stuff, and they seemed friendly enough, and turns out they had heard of Maeven. You also met an eccentric, independently wealthy hunter type who hails from the material plane just as you do. And, you, with his aid, slew some of these beasts and were brought through the village's confines until you entered a kind of a huge coliseum-like arena and found your party member atop a dead beast, having just slain it for the crowd. She raised her spear high and looked down and caught eyes with all of you. And that is where we left off. So the first thing I'm going to need from everybody is a Constitution saving throw, please. The air here is thick. It is very hot. It seems that the more of these Gnoda, as they're known, Gnoda, it seems that as more of these gather, the hotter the temperature, perhaps. Body heat and all. So a con save from everybody. And if there are those of you who cannot roll, I will roll for you. You just got to give me your mods.
So whatever they cast on us last time wore off?
Yeah, it has since worn off. It seemed like it was like a momentary reprieve, where you just kind of like when you're really hot and you stand in front of the air conditioning. It's like you can't stand here all day, so you just kind of soak up as much of that relief as you can.
Maybe you can't stay there all day.
Yeah, I mean you can, but these people definitely did not give you a permanent fix to that. So let's see. Axton's got an 18. Yuno's 22. Noah, Koza's got an 11. That's not great. Maeven, you do not have to roll for this. Sorry, I should have excluded you. Baranor definitely does. So, let me bring up my dice roller. I've been having fun with it lately. So, you all that got below a 16, which I think is only 2 of you. Do I have one for... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing one for Kervish. Are you not able to roll, Corey?
Not right now.
Okay, that's cool. So, do you have access to your character sheet?
Oh, wait a minute. I can pull up D&D Beyond. I got an 11.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, great. Okay. That's perfect.
Not great,
so, no, it's not great, but it's good that you can. So everybody who got below a 16, which would be 3 of you, gets 4 points of fire damage, and it's not super hot to the lungs. It's more of an irritating phlegm cough that you've developed in these last few, maybe 10-20 minutes as the temperature rose in here.
All right.
Yeah. So, Maeven, as you stand atop this dead, horned lizard beast, it's about 4 times your size, and a pile of bones beneath that, what would you all, standing here, amidst this ravenous crowd of Gnodan onlookers that just cheer, and you just hear them all chanting, Angnar, Angnar, Angnar. What would you all like to do?
I am really trying to contain myself because I don't want to cause an interplanar incident.
I'm gonna jump down.
I want to hug her, but I don't want to get...
Jump down.
I just look at her with just this kind of like wide-eyed, like, hey, I know her. Like, so this is your leader, huh? Can you guys?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So I'm like, that's your. This is your leader, huh?
Like, what does
Who are you
Angnar
saying
mean?
that to?
The guy that guided us up there, that's pointing her out.
Oh yeah, he kind of can't hear you. It's kind of crazy here. You always have to shout to each other. It's like being in like a concert or like a really loud nightclub. You just kind of have to shout to be heard a couple feet away from you. He's kind of like holding up his hands and he's sort of backed up into the crowd and just kind of joined everybody. It is starting like you guys. You're not just standing here in this moment fixed forever. It's starting to die down a little bit. There are other fighters that have entered the ring, and two of these Gnodans have begun kind of combat amongst each other, and the crowd is sort of getting into that. And you all 6 of you are kind of able to sort of sequester yourself to the side where it's still loud, but you can at least have a conversation where Maeven is not the absolute center of attention right now.
Okay.
You guys finally made it.
Yeah.
Seems you have too.
Yeah.
How long?
I'm feeling
How much
like
time?
that scene in Star Trek V where Kirk was gonna hug Spock, and Spock is just like, please, not in front of the Klingons.
We don't speak.
Right.
we don't speak of that movie. There was no movie between Star Trek 4 and Star Trek 6. There's just yeah.
I like Search for Spock. That movie was kind of good.
No, he's not talking
Kinda
about.
good.
He's not talking.
We're
he's
talking
not
about
talking
Five,
that
the
one.
Final Frontier.
Yeah, again,
Oh,
that doesn't.
yeah,
exist.
that one was bad.
Does not
That
exist.
was pretty bad.
Okay. How long has it been since for you? Like, time is warped for the various planes.
All of us.
About a month.
Oh my
A
gosh.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
That was just kind of
And that would coincide with Baranor's time back in the material plane when he fell through the portal. He spent a month with this black-skinned lizard dragonborn Gorvax.
That's a story for another.
So it's been a month for Baranor as well, just not anybody else.
All these bastards are a month younger.
It doesn't really matter that much to me.
No, it doesn't.
a month there, who gives a damn?
Yeah.
I guess you guys don't remember I'm several hundred years old, and I'm
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just.
is there a place away from the Bloodsport arena that we can talk and try to compare notes?
Come over here, and I'll lead him over to where, like, a pen, where my new baby is.
Okay, yeah. So Maeven, kind of with about 5 or 6 Gnodan guards sort of trailing behind her. They're not any taller than anybody else. It seems like this people, this race of creatures, they all seem to have very, very uniform heights to them, aside from a few that are tall, and then there's a couple that are really tall. But they're all just kind of being corralled and moved around as they're kind of like guards of specific people. You can see the dress around here is varied. There's some people wearing a lot of beads and bones, and others are just covered in kind of stone plates and things. And she leads you down to kind of a roundabout staircase that leads down. It's lined with Gnodan citizens that are just sort of like, they see the Angnar, they all kind of lose their mind and hop up and down and punch each other for not showing enough honor to her. And as you descend, the crowd grows thinner and thinner because the guards sort of keep people away from the lower decks of this basement, where she brings you to what must be kind of an out-of-the-way part of the arena on the outside, because there's a grate above your head that's letting in like a ton of sun, and so you can see like a fence or something around the perimeter above it. And there's this big huge door to like a very large chamber beyond, and it's got a garage door and an entrance door. She drops the huge gate, and this streak of fire, like a comet, just races out and goes up above into the grate and makes its way through the bars. And you see this streak of fire just sort of encircle the sky for about 60 feet in a big wide arc, and it blasts down into the grate. It blasts around each of you. I'm gonna say that Koza and Kravish and Baranor, you all take an ambient. Let's see here. An ambient 1 point of fire damage as this streak of fire, about maybe 5 or 6 feet wide, just sort of blasts through and past each of you, and then raises up into the air and slams down on the ground right next to Maeven. And Maeven, if you would like to describe what they see as the fire kind of clears and wafts away.
We can't hear you.
All right, I have my mic muted. So there's this horse-ish sized, scaled, dragon-like creature. He's kind of like a pearlescent white, and he has like dark red and orange, like feathery things coming out from in between some of his scales. And I will reach up and give him a little scratch underneath his jaw, and I'll say, and this is Sundancer, everybody.
Well,
He's so cute.
you made a new friend.
I did. He's very sweet.
I expected nothing less.
You all see that as it loads.
It's alright, we'll get it in about an hour.
If everyone can see that, I don't know if anybody has their...
Ooh, he's purty.
Isn't he a sweetie? Okay.
And Sundancer is going to drop to his elbows of his front legs and keep his rump high, and you see his rump start to wag left and right, and he is going to, like, really fast kind of like sniff and move in between each of the party members. He comes up to Kravish, and you see him like stick his snout like right in between your chin and your shoulder, and start smelling. And every time he blows out of his nostrils, it's like a oxyacetylene torch, just like nipping your flesh real fast. And every time he touches your skin, it's like it's like being touching a grill with your hand by accident real quickly. He is super, super hot to the touch, and but his eyes are about the size of an orange, and they got these like golden flecks in his iris, and he just darts in between each of you. Everyone's going to take a point of fire damage because he gets nice and close to everybody. He licks a couple of you, and I'm going to roll for that because that's going to hurt.
And I
let's say here, definitely those with kind of pink skin. So we'll say we'll say Koza, and definitely Baranor. You guys are gonna get licked and take not a D20. Sorry, not a D20.
take 20 points of fire damage.
There we go. Yeah, you guys are going to take another 2 points of fire damage as he kind of licks your face in it. It's like getting raked across with a burning hot poker across your flesh.
That's halved for us with fire resistance.
That is correct.
I'm gonna. Can I?
That was a total of 3. If I mentioned you in the second round.
All right.
I'm gonna stick my hand out and let him kind of sniff me until he's comfortable.
Okay.
And then once he is, I'm going to give him chin scratches.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be... let's see here. That's going to be another round of D4 damage there, Koza, as you scritch under his finger. Oh, you take a full 4. That one, he seems to be pretty hot under the chin.
Worth it.
I mean, you can just feel the tips of your fingers kind of like sizzling as you grab under his scales. But he nurtures in close and kind of... butts you with his head a little bit, and then he's gonna dance around back over to where Maeven is.
Worth it.
So this is Sundancer. He is very sweet. He likes chin scratches and everything, and he's mine, and he's mine, and so this funny story,
yeah, we got a lot of funny stories to share.
They were gonna like kill him, and so I just had to save him, and so I beat up all the other monsters. They were going to try to
say no more.
fight against him. Yeah.
Say no more. I completely understand.
Do you not want to pet him, Baranor? Huh? Do you? He's very nice.
Having seen how scalded, yeah, I'll hold off for now.
Aw, it's okay. He'll be fine. Come on.
Fine, I'll pet the lizard.
Yay!
Excuse me, lizard? Side eye.
I mean, he kind of is. He's like a lizard
I know.
puppy.
I wanted her to say the line, but all right.
Oh, Baranor. Yeah, you took 4 as well.
Okay.
That was a roller coaster too, because it was like 1 then to 4.
So we're.
So have you been spreading the word of Paylor down here? Or did you
Well, no.
kill their
I can't.
last leader or what?
Not. It's a long story. Suffices to say, I don't speak whatever language that they speak. And like the only way that I could communicate with them was to like
Through your fists.
Punch them.
beat things up.
Yeah.
Beat things up. And so that's kind of where I'm at currently.
Establishing dominance is a pretty surefire way to get a message across.
Yeah.
You're right. You're very right.
So through your superior fisticuffs, you have managed to convince them to let you lead them?
I was just trying to, convince them to let me stay here where the water is.
Yeah, they think you're
they
their
kinda
water.
haven't.
They think you're their leader.
Where?
Yeah, they seem to hold
Water,
you in some
please.
really high regard.
There's like barrels over there. You guys can. It's fine. Go. And I'll point out like the water.
I think we just lost the Kenku pot. Just
Oh.
Well, if anybody else was listening to it, it was real skippy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, so I'm just killing it, and
Moving on without it.
just imagine a loud arena with
Use your
volcanoes going
imagination.
off in the background. Right.
Bloodsport?
Oh yeah, big time.
Sure.
Yeah, and you can hear the swell of the crowd behind you. It's very reminiscent of what you remember of the Ellington Classic, except there's not quite as many people. It looks like the stadium only held about maybe 5,000 to 6,000 Gnoda citizens and warriors.
That's another
But you
foreigner
hear a
song.
huge swell in the crowd, and what's that?
That's another foreigner song.
Yeah. So yeah, you hear a huge swell in the crowd. You assume somebody just died or was defeated in some way. And the guards that are just sort of, they're not right next to you that followed Maeven towards here. They're kind of lining the hallway and keeping people away from coming down here. But yeah, it's... You're all kind of breathing heavy right now. Everyone's in a flop sweat. Everyone's clothes are drenched and filthy. And Maeven doesn't look too much different. She's kind of peppered with soot and sweat. All of you feel like you could definitely use a cold drink, however that's possible.
So, okay, I just got to get this out of the way. I come up to Maeven and I just give her a big old hug.
Oh yeah, for sure. Under the cloak. Oh yeah. This is the stuff.
Sundancer is going to find this extraordinarily bizarre. You both feel his nose at your elbows, where your bodies are kind of embraced and your bodies meet. And he's not trying to push your elbows apart. He's just trying to get under both of them. And his head is about 3 feet wide.
Aww. More switches and paintings.
3 feet wide. How big is this thing? Horse size?
He's got kind of like a wide gecko head.
Oh, okay.
You know? I tell you what, I'll show you what he looks like in comparison to Maeven.
Okay.
And wow. Oh, I must have put that in the wrong chat. Here we go.
Oh,
hello. Why did it not? Oh, is it?
You did.
Is it showing up?
Yeah,
It's not showing up for me.
It's there. It's there.
I got it. Okay.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay, I didn't have it scrolled down.
Horse.
Yes, Sundancer is wingless. He is draconic in appearance, very, very draconic in the face. Although his snout has somewhat more of a kind of a dog type snout. Very short for a dragon's face. He doesn't have a long lizard like face. Crowned in little white horns, no wings, and but you do notice that there's these flaps just behind his front shoulder blades where wings would be, and it looks like there's like a couple of, I don't know, holes behind him, like sporacles on a lizard head.
More Chinese dragon than European dragon?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's got fur that runs in little strips up and down his back and along his neck.
Okay.
So, why was he going to be? Why are they going to kill this thing?
I know that you guys have seen the arena. And they're gonna hit this little tiny baby against some giant armored crab thing. And I just, couldn't let that happen. He's just too sweet.
All right.
Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff that I've had to fight down here, and it's a little mentally taxing, shall we say.
Well, let's say we work on a way of getting out of here then.
Okay.
Yeah, let's.
I'm not 100% sure on how that's going to work out. But again, I can't really communicate very well. Maybe one of y'all, Mr. Magic,
still with us?
guys.
Is Tolliver still with us, or is he still back up topside?
He did not join you down here. He kind of got enthralled with the arena. It looks like as soon as the crowd started paying attention to a fight in the pit, it's almost like he started to pay attention to that, and you guys just kind of wandered away. He's not like in your party. He just kind of followed you here.
Gotcha.
You know precious little about him other than what he's told you, that he's a hunter and that, you can see he's got trophies strapped to all over his body and stuff. He's got an interesting weapon, and he just kind of hung out up there.
And he also came here of his own volition, so if he probably knows how to get back out.
Yeah, so you can
he's our best lead right now. So, he's not the savoriest of characters by any stretch, but he's the only person that we know right now who has some knowledge of traveling between the two planes.
Yeah, plane shifting, not really my specialty or forte here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Koza.
Ken, can you educate me? Hold on, Ken. Can you educate me on how transportation circle works? Is that something that can traverse the planes?
Let me check. I don't
think so.
You can.
Believe so, but let me just double check.
And while he's doing that, I'd like to address something that, as far as an unsavory character, all you know about Captain Tolliver is that he stole water from these people. I wouldn't say that for the things that y'all have done, I wouldn't say that would qualify him as being an unscrupulous villain.
Well,
you guys would definitely wish you could steal some water right now, too.
Mm-hmm. It's the same plane of existence.
Baranor knows that he hunts for game for sport.
Yeah. Yes, he does. That's absolutely true.
Which, in his mind, is an unsavory character.
Yeah, that's fair.
The only specifier that it specifically states in the actual spell is that when you first gain the ability, you get 2 destinations on the material plane. It doesn't say that it's specifically limited to the material plane.
Right.
I've got the spell teleportation
it has to be on the
circle
same
up.
plane of existence as you. So, no, I can only teleport to places in this plane.
Get me Gary Gygax. I need answers.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that Koza's crown, his tiara, can do that. You just have to have a tree.
Yeah.
Which, good luck. Yeah, okay, so it's getting to be about maybe 10, 15 minutes since you guys kind of settled into, because, you know, Maeven has, this is sort of like a back alley area where she's been kind of given to prep for her fights and to pen up Sundancer when he wants to hang out and watch Maeven. Yeah, you're all right now very, very thirsty, very, very hot, and it's been about 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna start assigning a little bit of fire damage to all y'all, probably within the next 2 or 3 minutes, just so you know.
How have you been surviving down here for
A month with this heat.
With this blistering heat.
Is this a monk thing? Is this like?
I really don't know.
Is this like some training? Is this not akin to some training you did at your monastery or whatever?
Oh, it definitely is. It so is. Put me in the oven.
Not what I meant, but okay. Like, for certain strengths, you have to sit under a waterfall for 5 days or some crap like that.
Oof, that sounds awful.
That sounds terrible.
Sounds like a monk thing. I don't know.
Sounds like my skin would be.
Sounds like dope monk shit.
Yeah, no monk shit.
Totally is. Mr. DM, sir, do we have just cuz? Is that the answer? I don't know.
Because reasons.
No, I'll say that they do have water in this place. It's not used for drinking primarily. They don't drink water here. They sustain themselves on sort of a slurry of like an oil, almost like motor oil, in like communal cauldrons, and they roast animals. And it just doesn't seem like they drink a lot. Obviously in a place like this, what they use water for primarily is metalwork and cooling metal to shape it and stuff like that. So you do have access to water. Down here, you have kind of a water skin that you always bring with you from your hovel, but your hovel that they've given you, which is about a mile or two away, in sort of one of these not urbanite, but sort of civilized areas of this these communities, and you're just on the outskirts between like a large crown of rocks that you've sort of got this cabin made of stone, and it's not very big, and you've got water there. You know that there's water with blacksmiths along the way and stuff like that. It's not super plentiful though.
Okay, so I'll explain all that.
Okay. If we had a jug of something, we have people that can apparently create water.
That's good.
Yep. I think, I know Koza can do that. Can do that as well? I believe so.
It's not one of the spells that I have readily available.
Okay.
So not today.
If I wait a day, like tomorrow, I can create food.
Yeah. As you say this, I'm going to say you guys are kind of meandering out of the arena, and you all drift your gaze to the mountain range where you came from. It's kind of a straight shot through over difficult terrain and lava rivers like you've gotten here, but you do know you're not far away from the portal that still hasn't closed.
All right, well, obviously water and supplies first, and then we make back. Assuming Maeven can leave.
I don't know. Kind of look. Can anybody figure out how to talk to these guys? I know some weird languages, but that's mostly for transcribing.
Well,
I got you covered.
Kavish knows how to talk to him.
I have the spell tongs, so.
Oh, awesome. Love that. We might need to figure out if, when, how I can leave, because I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out.
well, I mean, before we do that, let's also consider that they might want you to stay as you're their leader now.
Yeah.
So we might have to figure out an excuse to get you to leave.
That also works. I'm also not the most convincing of people, so.
Oh,
Again.
well,
Awkward
on.
smile.
I might have something for that.
What?
Yes, I do. And I have one first level spell slot to make it work. So.
Well, let's not burn it right now. Let's figure out what we're going to do first.
What
So
is it?
what, Maeven, what time of day is it in this area right now?
What time of day is it?
Like, is it always
yeah, I
daytime?
mean,
Is it always daytime?
no. There's a day-night cycle that Maeven would know. It does get pitch black at night. It's still hot as hell. There's cinders that kind of race across the sky that don't offer light, but it's like a constant shooting stars sort of display. It doesn't get much cooler. It's very hot, very, very hot at night, and the days are filled with a red sky. And it's about the same kind of day-night cycle as the material plane, and I would say it's about the same time of day, quote-unquote. It seems that these realms are sort of at least chronologically linked. Yeah, it's you guys arrived here first thing, I think, and you've been traveling for probably, I don't know, a few hours before you got here, so it's a good midday time of day. She just finished a bout and killed a beast, which was like the main event, I guess.
It's about midday.
Yeah, and given the time that it would take us to get provisioned, prepare, and then try to, extricate you from here, it'll be nightfall.
Fair.
And how exactly are we getting back? The portal was
question.
How far up in the air?
About 60 feet.
Yeah.
Let's see, can I cast? I don't think I can. Do we have any spells that could make us fly, perhaps?
Or turn us into something that can fly?
Let's see. How many people can I hit with polymorph? I think it's just me.
I can make myself fly.
Yeah.
I
Can your Sundancer fly you out of the hole? We can't hear you, Steph.
It sometimes seems like he can, glide at the very least. But I'm not sure if he can actually, properly fly.
So he falls with style.
well,
Yeah. He's also a tiny baby, so, yes.
Yes, I didn't dispute that.
I can polymorph up to 3 people, and I can wild shape into something that can fly. So that's four. That's 4 people coming from me.
Okay, well, here's another option. Can probably cast this as well, but I have Dimension Door.
Oh, yeah. You can carry somebody with you.
Yeah. So that's like 4 people that can just kind of get bamfed
Yeah, but
from one end to the other. And we can drop some rope or do something like that to get the remaining.
Axton, can't you also temporarily fly?
I have wings.
Yeah.
Okay. Will that dimension door get us through the portal? Like, does it go through portals, or is it just...
Does it dimension through dimensions?
That's a
I
good.
think it has to do with what you can see.
And if I can...
I think it's about what you can see.
Let's double check.
Or wait, no. Actually, I think it's about a place that you know. I don't think you have to have line of sight.
It can be a place you can see, one you can visualize, or one you can describe by stating distance and direction. Up to 500 feet.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you would be well within. I mean, theoretically, I don't mean to do your job for you, but you could just envision a space above and to the left of the portal through it, and we'll see what happens.
Well, hang on. I'm pretty sure I have some rope. I could just fly through the portal and drop some rope for everybody.
Okay. Are you guys, by the way, hanging out around the arena, or are you making all of you making your way back to her hovel?
I thought we were making the way back to the hovel.
Yeah, we're kind of walking and talking.
Making our way.
Walking and talking. Okay, no problem. Yeah, you're going to find that Sundancer is much faster than all of you during a trot, so you're constantly kind of having to wait for Maeven to stop, because she just pulls ahead of all of you and then stops and waits for you to catch up, and then this is kind of how he is. He's very energetic.
So this thing doesn't have a low gear, does he?
No.
Very much like Maeven, then.
Yeah.
He just goes.
Now, could he come with us, or...
He has to.
Cool.
Maeven probably has that look of, it's not if he is, it's how he is.
Yeah.
Is he house trained?
He doesn't live inside.
Well, maybe that's what we can use Dimension Door for.
Right, but I'm saying once we get back to the keep, we're going to need to put him somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's first figure out how to get to the keep, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
One step at a time.
All right, everyone's going to take another ambient 4 points of fire damage.
All right.
And those of you with fire resistance, you can go ahead and cut that in half. And moving forward, it's going to be con saves.
I'm sorry, how much damage was that?
That would be 4.
4.
4 points.
All right. Let's wind our way into this hovel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It takes about maybe 10-20 minutes of traversing this kind of varied elevation with these kind of rolling blobby blankets of cooled lava that seem to be flowing from these volcanoes, and every now and then you catch yourself having to hop over a particularly hot little stream of magma that flows through here. But eventually you get your way to sort of a flatland, which is sort of sharp slate-like jagged outcroppings at low levels that you can kind of hop over and things like that. Till finally you come to this crown of vertical obsidian crystals that are not unique to this area. There's a lot of these jutting outcroppings of obsidian, but you see that she kind of winds around a corner through sort of a valley, and these crowning obsidian crystals kind of encircle her little... It looks like it's made of sort of a clay and stone layered kind of igloo kind of thing. It's about maybe 30 feet across and very low ceiling, by the way. It's... Even Maeven has to kind of hunch a little bit once she gets inside. Sundancer kind of takes off. You see him kind of jump up to the ridge of this valley, and he kind of disappears into the terrain beyond. And Maeven, the first thing you do is douse your face with your water bucket.
Feel free. Feel free.
The water is hot. It's not refreshing in the slightest, at least in its present state. It's kind of like the hot water that you run through a faucet and just splashing that on your face. It definitely feels more refreshing than no water.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of gritty. You almost feel slightly more dirty after doing it.
Okay, we could shower after we get back.
Oh yeah.
What's a shower?
That's a dream right there.
It's this new thing I just invented.
Okay.
It's gonna be great. Everyone's gonna be using them in about 10 years.
Is there a spell involved in that? Like,
That's the neat part. There isn't.
oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
It just requires to be standing below a couple of water elementals, right?
Which I can summon now.
Nice. So there is a spell involved.
Yeah.
There doesn't have to be. There can be.
What's that dome that we used to sleep in?
The tiny hut.
A tiny hut.
Can't we just make one of those? And would we not take heat damage in there?
Yeah, if we slept in it, it's climate controlled.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is.
Climate control.
Why didn't we think of that sooner?
I also admitted
got- well-
that. I just admitted climate controlled. Okay.
Just invented.
You guys use it. You guys use the hut all the time.
No. He's talking about like while they were
Yeah,
here
while we were
already.
here.
Well,
Because
then
we've been
you'd have to
moving.
stay in one place.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you've been walking.
We've been looking for you.
hey, thank you.
It's like, we're finally here to rescue you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have Maeven make a history check with advantage, and the rest of you, I'd like everybody to give me a group perception check. If you'd be so kind. Yep, you can roll that at advantage.
Guidance.
23.
23. All right. Would you be so kind as to hop over to Whispers real quick?
Do I have to like? I've never done this. Like, do I have to like hang up and click on it?
No,
or
you really
does
just
it
click. You can click Whispers, and it should bring you right over there.
Okay.
All right. Do I gotcha?
Okay,
Hold on.
good. He's gone.
Okay. I gotta switch on my phone, not on my computer. Hold on. Okay, dokie. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
I like.
All right. So what you know is that this place is very there is an you're pretty sure there's an overarching government, and that you have been elevated to like the city's most important person. You get the feeling that you're not the ruler. You get the feeling that you're more of like the figurehead of the society.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
You've never been asked to help with like state matters. You've only been here a month. It just so happens you're the strongest person here, and they all love you. And they've kind of they shower you with food that you can eat and stuff like that, and decorative things like they gave you this house, that kind of thing. So, makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop back over to session.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. We're back. Don't mind us.
Okay.
Just sit here, move
Okay,
along.
so yeah, I'm gonna look at everybody's perception scores, and let's see how we did. Really good on Baranor. Koza did okay. Yuno did really good. Axon did really good too.
I got a 23
And
myself.
that would be 23. Okay, so I'm gonna say that Koza, you're so hot and uncomfortable right now. You feel yourself at this now that you're at Maeven's house, just a desperate need to strip this armor off of you. Yuno, Axton, and Baranor and Kravish, all of you have this very defined kind of instinct that you're being watched here. That there is you get the tinglies on your neck as you feel some kind of consciousness in some form, whether there's something actively watching you or remotely watching you, but you definitely have that feeling in your head.
Okay.
Does it feel anything like when what's her face was watching us?
What's her face?
Drelka.
What does that mean?
No. What's
Drelka.
this?
Oh, Drelka. Yeah. It does have a similar. I mean, you have so little experience in this kind of thing that definitely does come to mind.
Okay. Maeven, is somebody else here?
I don't think so.
As far as you know, you're the only one living here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna.
I definitely feel like we're being watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maeven, that's something that you've sort of sloughed off. You felt that way since you came here, especially back towards your house. You definitely have always felt that. Nothing has ever come of it. Not in the 2 or 3 weeks that you've lived here. You've never been attacked. You've never been robbed. You've never been raided or anything like that. It's just like that overarching feeling, and you just sort of ignored it over the last week.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. I kind of just try to ignore it.
As I'm walking around the house, because of my, I took blind fighting for my fighting style, so I have 10 feet of blind sight. As I'm walking around,
okay.
do I get the sensation, or do I pick up the presence of another individual that may be invisible?
No, that ability does not offer you any kind of indication that there's a physical presence here. Her place, like I said, it's rather low. It's only about maybe 5 feet tall at the top of the ceiling. It's very Flintstones. There's like flat rock surfaces and places where she's kind of kept like tablets that people have made for her, and there's like these weird, they're not plants, but they're like mineral kind of formations that people break off that look nice and have given to her. It's very scarcely and minimalistically decored in the place, and there's just like, think Yoda but less cushions as far as his place.
Okay.
And you kind of walk around. It's only about maybe 20 feet wide. It's segmented by a couple of walled rooms. And you kind of feel around and look around, and your sense doesn't give you an indication of a direction that this feeling of being watched is coming from, and certainly not localized anywhere. It just it permeates the whole house, and it got really strong once you got closer to the hovel.
Okay.
Is the house alive? I don't know if that's a weird question or not, but it just seems like there's something here.
That's not a weird question, and I'm going to say that you saying that, you all immediately think of the large turtle that you came across. It had a very, very, like almost
large turtle,
undetectable. Yeah, you guys slept on top of a huge turtle, and in the middle of the swamp.
Oh right, okay.
Can you detect any magical presence?
I'll cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Yeah. As you form the glyphs in the air, those glyphs glow and spread out like a shockwave, and you see all little tiny glitz and glitters around the room. There is magical presences here. They're very small. It looks like some of the crystal and stone jewelry that she was gifted. Some of it has faint magical qualities to it. You don't detect a school to any of the magics imposed on those items. It looks like raw arcane energy. There is she has this large quarterstaff-like object with a red skull stuck on the end of a sharpened end, and the skull itself is giving a very, very faint magical presence. And that's kind of it. You don't detect like anything about the house that kind of gives off anything. It just looks like it's made of stone and it's been carved or shaped in some way like this.
Okay, so nothing specific, nothing to suggest some sort
nothing that would I would say that the jewelry being the most potent forms of magic in this house. Everything else is just very, very faint. The skull on her stick is giving off an evocation school. It looks like there's some kind of fire enchantment or something about that skull. But that's it. You don't sense anything that could pertain to illusion or not illusion. What is it? What's the remote viewing or something like that, or scrying? You don't get a scrying sense. Yeah, you don't get a scrying sense or anything like that.
All right.
So,
well, if it's been here the whole time, Maeven, at least I guess we don't have to worry about it. Just makes us a little uneasy.
Hasn't tried to kill me yet, so
That you know of.
It hasn't
Fair.
met us yet.
True. So what's the plan? Are we gonna try to do this tomorrow? Like take a good little nippy nap?
Let's try to plan a little bit this evening. Make sure we can get provisions.
Okay.
Have you gotten any wind of the who's the second around here? I mean, you've been ordained the leader, but who is the second?
Well, they do kind of have like a government thing. I'm not really up to date on their like state or local matters. Like, I think that I'm more like a figurehead per se than like the actual leader. Would I know like where somebody like that might be located, Mr. DM?
Yeah, there's a kind of a chancellor's house that kind of deals with like warring nations and keeping the peace amongst, very loosely though, this is a very primitive culture, but you do feel that there's almost like a chieftain that passes through the different tribal villages and makes his rounds, although you've never met him, and you get the feeling that with the crowd behind you, I mean, if you wanted to, you could just overthrow him probably, especially if he's anything like the larger versions of these Gnoda. You could take him single-handedly. It would be tough, as was that battle, but you could do it. I mean, it's not like you've never felt threatened, although they do have a lot of numbers. There's hundreds of thousands of these creatures that live here, and they don't mind stabbing a bitch.
Yeah.
Well,
so there's kind of like a guy over there.
Well, maybe it's time for the Angnar to venture forth to find new challenges.
I mean, we could definitely spin it that way.
I think that's exactly how we should spin it.
You're gonna conquer a whole other plane of existence.
No, say okay, maybe.
Well, I'm saying that's what you can tell them.
Yeah, I figured that out after I'd already started talking. So.
Yeah.
So, the goal for the morrow is go to the big man's house. Try to talk him into, like, letting us just walk out the front door. Like,
yeah.
Okay. There's not really any doors, I don't think. But
figuratively speaking.
Yeah, we'll just walk right out the front door.
I get the feeling that they understand outsiders, but do they really understand different planes of existence? Like, are you treated like a really important person, or are you treated like a deity?
Probably like.
I got an idea. We just
like C-3PO among the Ewoks.
I don't think I'm like that level. I think I'm more of like a celebrity. Ow.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got an idea. We're gonna take all the copper we have.
Oh, jeez.
Toss it up into the air, and they're running to grab this metal that they want. We're just gonna spirit.
Getting into the Mardi Gras spirit.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I love that. Quick.
I'm glad that y'all
looking for pennies on the ground. Get them.
Yeah.
Run away.
Yeah. Those like James Bond chase scenes where he like just throws like stacks of hundreds into the air, and it causes a whole bunch of people to go around behind him, stopping the bad guys from getting to him. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
I will give inspiration to anybody who throws copper into the air.
And where are we going to be at? Like $3?
Yeah, I think I'm out of copper too.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
I have no copper.
Or no, I have 100 copper pieces.
Yeah.
Nice.
That I'm never going to use.
I'm saying we have. That's so much money to them.
Yeah, like I said, we're out $4.
Or better yet, we could create the illusion of a lot of copper.
Just getting chased out by a whole bunch of tiny fire people.
I have 200.
Yeah. Be like the end of the second.
Wow.
Cheaper to use real copper than make the illusion of copper.
What do we do? Do we give them our pennies, or do we pretend to give them our pennies and they get really pissed when they find out it's not real?
I was just going to give them pennies. What the hell?
I have 0 copper, so
I have
I ran
100,
out.
so I've got some to spare.
Good.
And like I said,
$1 whole dollar.
And we don't have to give it to them.
Right, Axton.
We don't have to give it to them all at once. They chase us a little bit. We toss like 100 copper behind us. They stop, collect it.
Hey, this is also a good way to help sweeten the deal when we talk about needing to leave.
Yes.
That is a fair point.
And Sundancer. He has to come.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Although he's not going to be happy when we come back, when we go back to the material blanket. It was freezy cold.
Yeah, we have to go somewhere warmer.
I'm guessing he doesn't have a problem being warm.
I'm guessing that he's probably not going to do well in the snow.
No.
I think he'll be keeping us warm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Internal heater.
Okay, I still think we probably should figure out how to try to keep him warm so he doesn't, die or something.
Yep. Well, as you guys are kind of, sitting around the table and conversing in this way, you do see the sky start to darken in the windows of your house. At least the horizon seems to get a little darker. Doesn't get any cooler. Doesn't have that nice nighttime chill. It's just as unbearable. So I'd like everybody to go ahead and give me a con save for the evening. This is going to count for the whole evening. Whoa,
Ooh,
Axton, yeah. You got a nat 20.
Damn it, that was almost a dirty 20.
All right, come on.
17 for me.
Oh, come on. That was almost a natural 20, son of a bitch.
Having some real adventures
God
with these
damn it.
dice.
No.
How do you, sacrifice something to the dice gods?
I know. How do you put them in a dice jail? I don't know how to do it. It works
I
either.
gotta, do an incense cleanse on my computer.
Yeah, you do.
All right, 16 is passing, so you're good. Baranor and Koza, not so good. I need one from Maeven and Kravish.
I got a 7. I already told you I got a 17.
17, okay, that's good.
15.
15, all right, so Maeven, Baranor, and Noah, you're going to take full. Everybody else takes half of this.
Oh, jeez.
Oof.
Okay, that's 11, so half is 5.
Oh my god!
And then half of that is 2.
But that's right. If you have resistance, you can take half again. It's a pretty uncomfortable night. You're all kind of every now and then hacking up a mouthful of black soot, and there's a lot of black spit marks on the ground from all of you. And Maeven, you're not immune to this place. You've just kind of been dealing with the pain of your lungs. You're definitely looking forward to leaving, and you guys kind of roll into the evening. Nobody has eaten anything. And I'm not going to get all crazy Nazi with the camp supplies, but BG3 or Baldur's Gate really did make me aware that making you guys actually spend stuff at the end of the night is probably a good idea. So definitely everybody dig out your rations because there's no food in this place. Maeven, you usually kind of eat what they give you at the arena and you let that sate you for the whole day.
Okay. Gotcha.
Does anybody need any rations? I have 9.
I'm good for now.
You're good.
I am good.
All right. Beef jerky and trail mix it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, her house is not small by any means. It definitely looks like it wasn't built for her to her specifications. You feel like it'd be a little smaller and more compact and cozy. There's flat slabs of stone for everybody to curl up in. There is room for the dome. That in the middle of the room, it looks like there's a walking space that's about 10 feet wide that looks like it would fit a dome if you so wish. And is there anything anybody is anything anybody would like to do, say, or get off their mind or off their chest before the night ends?
Hang on, let me see my spell slots if I can even do this.
Maeven?
Wait, do I still have the Cloak of Calm Emotions, or do you still have that, Kravish?
I still have it, but I can give it to you if you ask it back for it. If you say please.
I would like that back, please.
Okay, here you go.
Alright, and then how many... Let me see, how does Calm Emotions work? Is it a group, or do I have to cast it every time?
Oh, it only works for who's wearing that coat.
Okay, well then let me see. Because I think I can, cast it.
Yeah. It is a one-person kind of thing.
Trying to find it. Where is it? Do I have Calm Emotions? I don't think so. Well, shit. Oh no, I do have it. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it's I can hit each creature within a 20-foot radius if I just cast it. So I'll do that. I'm gonna cast.
Okay.
As we're all kind of bedding down for the night, I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions on everybody, just to kind of get us into that, right before bed, relaxed feeling, so we're not uncomfortable.
Cool.
Love that.
All right. Yeah, let me have everybody everybody affected by that, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Actually, it's charisma.
I understand. Okay. Give everybody. I didn't know it was something they had to save against. Yeah, go ahead and roll charisma.
It's a charisma save, but you can choose to fail.
Yeah, that's okay. Roll it anyway. It's all about how you guys are going to react.
7.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, boy.
22.
Let's see. What's
Sorry.
my spell save, DC? You got to beat a 14.
I beat it.
Am I literally the only one that fails?
I think so.
Well, Koza, let's get one from you, too.
All right. Let's see. Charisma. Can I beat?
You have to beat your own
my
spell
own
save.
spell. Hey! I finally beat a spell save.
Woot woot.
It was my own spell.
All right. So that's how that's going to unfold for everybody once you're all kind of settled in. Is anything anybody wants to do before turning in?
Yeah, before settling in, I'm going to steal a private moment with Maeven.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, before you two do that,
Everybody wants to do something.
before you two do that, Maeven, Kravish,
Yeah.
this has happened twice now, Maeven.
Oh boy.
What I do?
Oh no.
And I'm going.
Bear North's on full dad mode.
This has got to stop, and I'm going to hand each of them an Elder Moon earring.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Oh, nice. So
very
little
nice. Thank you.
monkeys.
Now, remind me, what does this do? What does the Elder Moon earring do?
So as long as if two creatures share this pair of moon-shaped earrings, they will be able to speak to each other as if standing side by side. They must both understand the languages spoken in any of the normal conversations, and all messages are received within the recipient's mind. Works as long as both creatures are on the same plane of existence.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, love that.
Does not require attunement, which means you can hand them out amongst the party as you see fit. They'll work instantly and don't work as soon as you take them away.
So they're like magic walkie-talkies.
Little walkie-talkies. Shaped like moons.
Yeah, you got to pierce your ear with it though.
Yeah, they can do essentially what I can do with more limited, but specifically to each other.
What
Awesome.
ask
Thank you
who?
so much. I'll just take one of the hoops.
Now don't do it again.
Thank you,
promise,
Now
I
go
promise
talk to
to
each
not
other.
jump off into a fire plane by myself. Yes, I promise. Okay, fine. Sorry.
Or get abducted by black dragons.
That's not my fault.
Yeah, to be
That
fair,
one I had no control over.
Now we just can't lose the two of you.
At the same time.
Yeah, nobody jump planes of existence.
Yeah, and after you say that, the two of us are going to another room.
Yeah, we're gonna go outside.
We're gonna go that way.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right.
We're just.
Is there anything you or Axton would like to do tonight?
Well, I was going to talk to the group. What spells do you think that we should probably maybe prepare for tomorrow? Did you want me to prepare that food and water? Do you want me to create water?
How long does it take would it take for us to get to the portal from here?
It didn't take you much more than like 3 or 4 hours to hike from the portal cave entrance to to the first village, and then you hiked further along with Captain Tolliver to the larger village that had the arena you hiked for like another 2 hours, so probably in the neighborhood of like half a day to get there.
Okay, so if we've survived this long without that spell, I don't think we'll need it necessarily.
It is also a good bargaining thing. If they're low on water or food, I could, prepare something for the group tomorrow.
I think
couldn't hurt.
No,
create water probably.
Yeah, we'll do create water.
Okay.
And we have our rations to get by as far as food is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody has any charming spells, just to aid in convincing them to not give us any trouble.
We have Kurvish.
If anybody has friends or a charm person.
I am the charm spell.
He is a charm spell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then we'll have to... Are we using Dimension Door to get Mr. Sundancer with us?
If that's the only other thing that we need to get up there.
That's really all I can think of.
Although, how big is this creature? Because Dimension Door, I believe, only works with certain size creatures.
Horse size.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's a large creature.
Let's see.
You can also bring one willing creature of your size or smaller. Who's carrying gear up to its carrying capacity.
So does anyone have the enlarge spell?
I do. Hang on.
Enlarge reduce.
I think I have enlarge reduce. Hang on.
So you enlarge someone and then they Dimension Door.
Or we could just reduce Sundancer.
Either way.
Yeah, I have enlarge reduce, so I'll prepare.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of growing really tall and bringing them with them.
Just making like a 15-foot portal.
Yeah. Big giant
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah,
Anything else?
So reducing Sundancer.
Well, do we want to reduce Sundancer, or do we actually want to make a big
Is there a save on that?
I can do the other one.
Does that require it to be willing?
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything about willing.
No, it doesn't. You can.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can.
You're going to have to do some sweet talking.
Yeah,
we did the same thing with the big cosmic buffalo. Remember?
Yeah, what happened to make a Constitution
we polymorphed
saving
that. We polymorphed the big buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, would just have to make a con save. Or Sundancer, depending on which one we decide to.
Yeah. I mean, Maeven will have to sweet talk him and
it.
get him kind of calmed down, and if we could reduce him. I mean...
He understands common, guys.
Okay, we just talked to him.
Yeah, let's just talk to him.
Okay.
Well, okay. Hang on.
So one of us, between and myself, one Dimension Doors with Maeven, the other Dimension Doors with Sundancer.
Wait.
So at least we don't have a maniac little fire drake when we get there.
Wait, okay. So he can understand us. Can he communicate with us? I feel that is a very important distinction.
He sometimes telepathically communicates with me. I don't know if he does it with anybody else.
Okay, that's at least something.
He has the...
we could talk to a drake all day, but if he can't say anything back, then...
Is it like words that he communicates, or is it like moods or impressions.
It's words. It's words. Also, he's like the mental capacity of like a 6-year-old. Like he is very young.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Why do you think he has so
I
much
have to use
energy?
like reverse psychology, like don't go in that portal. Don't go in there. No.
And Barry, I can tell you as a father of 3, that works about 1 out of 3 times.
Yeah.
So
Once they figure out what you're doing, they're not gonna. They're not.
It only works when you don't want it to.
So we have to talk
Well,
to
now I am not going to do it.
We have to talk to him like we used to talk to Adgear.
No, that's different. When you talk to a drunk guy, it's different than a kid. I know it crosses over a little bit.
There is some overlap, but they are different.
There's definitely some overlap there.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, back to in all seriousness.
Yes, go have your moment.
No, I was about to reiterate our thing about how we're getting through the portal. I mean, are we? I mean, again, I was kind of being serious that the 2 folks that can cast Dimension Door, myself and we could get Maeven and Sundancer up there.
Well,
yep.
Axton can fly.
Yeah, I can turn into something that can fly, and then drop some rope down for everybody else.
Or you could polymorph who would be remaining? It would be Baranor.
Yeah, me.
And Axton. No, Axton can fly. Just Baranor.
Well, I can polymorph Baranor then.
Well, wouldn't you just polymorph?
Or no, I can turn in. Yeah, I'll turn into a giant eagle, something that could carry you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I think that's all our base is covered.
Yeah, I think that's all 7 of you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's Miller time.
I am worried about something. Remember when we went through those portals and they kind of got smaller each time somebody went through?
Yeah, but it didn't.
Yeah, but I think that was somebody who was of that plane.
Okay,
So I think it would have to be like someone from the fire plane going through the portal for it to go smaller.
Like Sundancer?
Yeah, but I mean he'll be out by the time he'll be out by the time it gets smaller anyway.
He's dimension dooring through it. It's not the same as.
Yeah, not really.
Like jumping.
Yeah.
But just to be on the safe side, we're gonna let one of you two assholes go first and see what happens.
I am on board for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say that you all, just to recap everybody on what could be called the physics of these things, you noticed that Baranor, when he jumped through the portal from the Fae to the material plane, you noticed that the portal closed a little bit, and when Maeven jumped through it, it completely closed. I'll say that Maeven, on your journey from the Fae to the material plane and then down through into this fireplace, the portal did not change at all. You were slow falling the whole time, so you had time to look. Baranor, same thing with you. When you and the crew all jumped through this portal into the fire plane, you didn't notice. You noticed a very, very minimal amount of movement inward on the portal itself.
So native.
So far as you know, it's still open.
Yeah. So native to foreign causes the thing close, but foreign back to native doesn't cause any problems.
I think I took like 4 points of psychic damage. My head hurts.
Math.
Transdimensional physics are weird.
Yeah. Let's just go back to hitting things.
So if we go back in time to kill John Connor, then none of this happens, right?
It's cyclical, man. It's cyclical.
Yeah.
Am I my own
Hot Tub Time Machine was alive?
That
Causality loops, guys. Causality loops.
If I remember correctly, that movie is actually one of the more accurate time travel.
Yeah.
I mean, Back to the Future was a bunch of bullshit?
Yes.
That movie was perfect.
It is a perfect movie.
It's great.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
Two's a little dicey, but it comes through in the end, and then 3 is just a masterpiece.
Oh, yes. That's easy topping it.
It does.
Anywho.
Okay, so Axton, you guys, I think, Axton, you wanted to address the party, or have you done that?
I think I've done that.
Okay. All right, what do you have planned for the night?
Tiny hut.
Just gonna sleep.
Yeah. Are you going to use tiny hut?
Oh yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
What? Shit. What is going on right now?
Specifically,
I don't like this.
Oh no.
I got a bad feeling about this.
15.
15. Let me just write that down.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no. What
All right.
could go wrong, guys?
Don't worry, guys. This is just how many magic items we're going to find on the way there.
I love that idea.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
With a whole bunch of Sinwat magical jewelry just outside of this hut here. Maybe.
Yeah.
If your inventory keeper would like to write some stuff down, I would like to kind of give Maeven access to her, I don't know what you call it, adoration treasure that she's accumulated in the past 3 weeks. You just let me know when you're ready.
I love that idea. Adoration treasure.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready.
Adoration treasure. Okay. You've got a total of 10 necklaces. They are of various make and design, but they all have kind of the same qualities. Number 1, they're strung with sort of a fiber optic-y kind of crystal, and as sort of a chain, and then they're adorned with these like turquoise and white and red and black beads and rough kind of gemstones, and I'd say a total value, you can have them appraised for a specific amount, but you get the feeling that they're somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 10 gold to 30 gold total. It depends on what someone wants to pay for this style of jewelry.
Okay.
You have a couple of brass bangles, and those are just very plain but very highly polished. You have several rings made of copper, and they're all kind of starting to show that green oxidation about them. And but some of them are very intricately carved and molded and forged. Some of them are very rough. So you've got an arrangement of rings. I'd say probably maybe five copper rings that are worth a total of maybe 3 silver for the lot of them.
Okay.
You have a headdress. It's really cool. Your headdress is sort of if you could imagine a Statue of Liberty, but at the very top of the spikes are chains of clear crystal beads that kind of fall down over your face. And the whole thing is made of copper with inlaid silver, and it's got kind of encrusted with small multicolored gemstones over the brow. It doesn't really fit you very well, and you've tried to put it on before, and it was a gift. You don't exactly know why, because like you've said, you don't speak the language. It was after a particularly tough battle of yours, and you were presented this about 2 weeks ago. And yeah, it doesn't really fit very well. It looks like there's room for kind of their horns that they have on their head, and obviously you don't have any, so.
Okay.
And your quarterstaff, which your original quarterstaff when you came here is long since charred and fallen apart. Your quarterstaff now is a typical quarterstaff. It does bludgeoning and piercing damage, bludgeoning or piercing damage. It's your choice. And you've noticed that the skull that you impaled off of one of these creatures, when the flesh burned away after its death, its skull remained. And every time you hit something, there's this swell of fire from this skull. And, it doesn't seem like the skull is going to shatter anytime soon. It's pretty hardy.
Okay.
I can't tell you the fire damage that it does because everything you've hit with it is immune to fire.
Makes sense.
So you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that yet. And that's about it. You've got you don't have very much in the way of clothes because their clothes don't fit you and they haven't seen fit to make you anything. So, your clothes you've done your best to wash them a couple of times because it gets pretty dirty quickly around here. But it's mostly leather, so it doesn't wash that well. And every day you're here, by the way, when you try to wash your leather vest, it just seems to shrink on you a little bit.
Yeah.
And for the record, everybody here who is wearing clothes that's not magical, your clothes are taking considerable damage just every hour that you're here. Kravish's beautiful purple and green clothes are starting to tear, and there's burn marks and scorch marks and things like that. Same with, your robes are taking a beating. Although I think you're wearing your magical twin spell robes, which, if that's the case, those robes are fine. They're just a little dirty.
Can we say that my pimp outfit is magical?
No, they're not. Clean.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, bud?
Prestidigitation. Robes clean.
Yeah. Robes are clean. All right. Yeah. Easy enough. Everybody else, it starts the one night starts to wind down, and you start to grow tired. It's definitely welcoming inside of the dome. There's room for everybody except for Sundancer. But he doesn't really go inside the house much anyway. He doesn't really fit very well. He kind of stays outside, and every now and then you sort of hear a screaming trail of fire somewhere above you, and you can imagine that that's probably him. And yeah, the night just starts to kind of wind down. You're all very relieved, I'll say. Very, very relieved, admittedly so, especially you, Maeven, after being here for a month, to step inside the cool, calm dome.
We gotta step outside first, but then we will.
Yeah. Yep. I'd say Koza, Baranor, Axton. You step into the dome, and instantly you're just like hit with a kind of a wall of cool air. It's not like being in front of an air conditioner. There's no fan unless you guys want to kind of create that magically. It's cool with me, but it's definitely kind of an instant relief, and you all feel the pull of gravity just kind of settle into a bedroll and kind of kick your feet up, and just kind of roll to your side as the relief washes over you, quite literally. And, Kravish and Maeven, take it away.
We just kind of walk outside for a little bit, and I was like, you and I really have to stop making this a habit.
Yes,
Being separated.
I can't keep doing this.
Oh, man. Taking years off my life.
Don't say that. You don't have as many years as I do. Makes me nervous.
I was so scared that I would lose you forever when I watched you jump through that portal.
I have no idea what came over me that day. I've been feeling pretty reckless. And
that was
a little bit.
That was a pretty bold move.
Even for me, that was pretty
Even
crazy.
for you, especially for you.
Yeah.
I am just beyond happy that you are safe and that we are back together again.
Me too. No more jumping into portals.
Random planes of existence.
To unknown random.
Yeah, without at least talking to the other person first.
Yeah, just swan diving into a random portal to a fire plane apparently was not my finest moment.
I gotta tell you though, it looked really fucking cool when you did it.
You know.
Pretty freaking epic.
Yeah.
Alright.
How are you?
So I lean down and I give her a big kiss.
Yeah, for sure.
Aw.
And then let's get in that climate control
It's
dome.
really hot.
Yeah, it's really freaking hot. Let's get it.
Yeah, as you make your way back towards the hovel, only being maybe 20 or 30 yards away to kind of look at the landscape. Yeah. She turns away from you and you notice across her bare skin, there's just like marks of like burn marks, and her hands, as you kind of held her hand, you notice the tips of her fingers just to have kind of like a perpetual, like you grab the muffler on your car, just that kind of contact burn on her fingertips, and you kind of guess that this very well could be because of combat. It also could be the fact that she's touching Sundancer a lot, and you notice her clothes along her thighs and are all kind of burned a little more than everything else, and it's just something that you notice that this place has definitely taken a toll on her.
Been some hard living. All right, so I just kind of tuck her in a little more closely as we walk back in, and then we both have our moment as we walk in the dome.
I get a little misty-eyed at just how comfortable it is. Been here for so long. Just like, shiver.
It's like, I'm a monk and I'm supposed to like four pleasures, but oh damn, this feels good.
Not this one.
All right. Well, the dome is very, very inviting. It doesn't even condense and drip on the inside like it probably would if this were an actual air conditioner. It's just a perfectly pleasant temperature. Your bodies eventually start to equalize to it, and it sets you up for a very, very comfortable, relaxing rest. The dome fits 10. There's only 6 of you. Some of you are bigger than others, but that doesn't really make it super confined. Although it's not like you can all spread eagle and be that comfortable, but it's definitely feels better than it did a couple hours ago. And it's not long before the day's exhaustion washes over you, and you all slip into a comfortable slumber.
Before we all before Kravish beds in for the night, I'd like to grab him for a quick minute.
Okay, yeah, sure.
How many can the dome sleep?
10.
10.
Yep.
But before he does that, I'm going to pop out Luna, and she's going to go sleep outside the Pokeball.
Okay. She's going to curl up next to you?
Yep.
Right on. Okay. I'm just going to say she doesn't seem to notice a terrible change in environment. She's not, I wouldn't say she's very cold. She has that feeling of a long-haired dog that comes in from the snow, where, her fur feels really cold, but she seems rather like she was perfectly fine wherever she was, and she doesn't really notice that this place is very hot because she's in the dome. She just kind of curls up and is like, "Hey, boss, how's it been?" That kind of thing.
Go do what you were gonna do.
Yep, Koza, go ahead.
I'm just gonna try to flag down Kravish as he's coming back before he beds in for the night. I just want to talk to him for a minute.
Okay, so I'll give Maeven a little peck, and I'll be right back, and we'll walk out with Koza. Yeah, what's up?
Well, listen, we've been traveling together for a long time, and I've been thinking about it a lot. I'd really like to find my daughter. I've had a few clues as to where she might be, and I've been kind of putting it off with this whole Czechus business. We've been pretty busy the last couple months. But I think once we get back, I'd really like to look for my daughter. I miss her a lot, and I just...
Oh, yeah. How can I help?
Well, you're kind of the face man of the party. If you could work your magic to try to steer us in that direction. I mean, my words can only go so far. Not as charismatic as you are.
Well, hey, it's a burden I've been chosen to bear.
But
yeah. And I don't think that's going to be a problem, Koza, because, you're a big lovable oaf, and I think they take a flyer for you.
Thank you. It would mean the world to me if we could find her.
Got it.
Knowing she's alive and that she's out there waiting for me it's both a blessing and a curse.
You got it.
I'll give him a friendly hand around the shoulder, pat on the back, and
we'll have a bro hug.
Yeah. And then I'll
two big bears pressing into each other.
Thank you. I would really appreciate it.
You got it. All right.
And I'm gonna head off to bed.
Yeah, it's really freaking hot. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I would say, Kervish, since you were just outside and then came into the dome for maybe 3 seconds and then back outside, you're like, yeah, I don't want to ever go out there again, ever.
Yeah. All right.
So with your charisma saves on calm emotions.
Oh yeah, let's see how this happened.
I believe Kervish had a 22, and I don't remember what Maeven rolled. I would probably need one from her as well. Oh, a 7. Okay.
It was a 7.
All right. So just as a baseline, everybody feels much more relaxed and much calmer. You guys have a plan as far as how to get up the portal. You kind of have a cursory plan on how to talk your way out of whatever commitment Maeven has or was forced upon her by these people to leave. The effects of the spell just kind of give everybody a nice chill vibe. It's maybe a half hour between when people lay down to when people start nodding off, so there's time for there to be sort of like an ambient, just sort of hang kind of mood. And some of you kind of do little cantrips of energy into the dome to just sort of, so there's something to look at, and it's not long until everybody just sort of quiets down for good. You close your eyes and everyone falls asleep. Each of you in the night have not a vision, but a shape that sort of materializes in your subconscious view. It's rather simple, but it's also very nebulous in its scope. You're not sure where you are, if you're in a dream or in someone's projection, but you just see a constant swirling spiral of green and black and blue energy spiraling away from you very slowly. There's not much in the way of sound, but you feel that you're surrounded by emptiness and not exactly sure how far that emptiness goes, but just this slowly rotating spiral of vapor or energy spiraling away into an infinitesimally small point of space beyond. Not sure if it gets smaller or if it's infinitely far away as it spirals away, but everybody has, and it's just very faint and lackadaisical, And you all still feel that calm feeling. But it's just this image that is with you just for a few moments as you all wake up in the morning. You're not exhausted because you slept in the dome, so you all have a good, fresh 8 hours of rest. You may reset everything that goes along with that. Had you slept outside, you'd all be exhausted, so swift use of the dome.
Yay!
Yay!
You're all thirsty, you're all hungry, but you are rested and you feel pretty good.
Let's eat.
Baranor, what would you like to do with Luna? Because as soon as you guys wake up, the dome drops and you see her freak out going, why is it so hot?
I'm going to pat her on the back. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I'm going to say tool, and she's going to go bring it back another ring.
Poof, like a puff of smoke, she disappears. Baranor, I would like you to make a, what's higher, perception or survival? I think perception is.
Yeah, perception.
Okay. As you kind of, now that the whole room is the same temperature, you kind of wander outside while people kind of rise and it looks like they're dipping their canteens in the water. You notice a small pack of kind of kangaroo rat looking creatures about the size of a small dog. Looks like they're kind of hopping along on two legs and skittering around. And the hunter in you definitely feels that these may have meat in them, and, just something that you notice.
Okay. RUS is okay. In the fire swamp. Go figure. Yeah, I'll try and bag one.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an attack.
Like, is this the middle of town?
No. Her hovel is on the outskirts of kind of a densely populated village, just, maybe a mile or two away from the large city center where the arena is. Okay. And she's on the outskirts of that, kind of winding through this little valley of canyons until you get to her little area. So it's out of the way. And, you're following these creatures up the sides of this canyon that's easily climbable. It's not a difficult climb.
I'll get my bow out, and I will take a shot at one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have been better.
All right. That's a 15. 15 does hit. Right. So go ahead and roll some damage.
Some damage. 9.
9? All right, yeah, you wound one of them. One of your arrows sinks into this creature's scaly flesh, and you knock it prone, and after a second, it kind of gets up and starts limping away at about half speed. Meanwhile, the other 5 of these creatures, they scatter, and it looks like they're diving behind rocks and outcroppings.
I'll take another shot.
All right, go ahead and roll again.
All right. That was an adventure. Dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits. 7. Yeah, that'll do it.
All right.
Yep, that arrow sinks hard into its ribs, and you definitely nick something vital. It drops to the ground. A little bit of this kind of black Icarus blood flows out of its mouth and stains the rocky ground underneath it, and it ceases moving. Okay. It is about maybe 20 pounds. Like I said, about the size of a small dog. And it's got 2 big back legs and 2 kind of raptor-like, clawed-like hands, and kind of a stumpy neck, flat face, very rodent-like.
Definitely one of the weirder things I've had to take down. All right, am I able to bring it back to the building on my own, or what? What do I need?
Yeah, like I said, it's about 20 pounds.
Okay.
It's not terribly heavy.
I'll grab it and take it back with me.
All right. Go ahead and roll a D20.
Just a D20? Okay.
Yep, just a D20. 2. All right. One of your arrows, unfortunately, was broken as it kind of when it tripped, it sort of snapped the shaft. So unfortunately, you're going to lose an arrow out of that one.
Okay.
But you bring it back, and if you want to prepare it here, it's just going to take a medicine or survival check.
Axton has a culinary kit or something like that, right?
I do.
Okay.
Help me,
All right.
help me prepare this thing.
You can roll a cooking check if you want to butcher this thing proper. Just I guess that's a D20 plus your dex and your proficiency, I guess. Or unless are you proficient with this thing?
Who, me?
Yeah, or with the cooking tools?
Yeah, I'm proficient with cooking utensils.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a check for me. A cooking check.
Guidance?
Guidance.
Ooh. That's nice. What does the guidance give you?
Check
It's a D4.
Okay, I'm back.
26 total.
Oh, good.
This is going to be the best
I'm going to say...
ROS we've ever had.
Yeah, I'm going to say that you cleanly slice this thing into, very handsome cuts. The meat is very tough. And the meat is also very dark, like venison, and but it is palpable. It's hot. It's very hot to the touch when you kind of fiddle with it in a fire and try to cook it. It's not the most easy on the digestion you could imagine, but it is edible. So
why is it so spicy?
So you're gonna get pretty much all of its weight in meat, as much as you'd like. I'm going to say you lose a little bit to the bones, you lose a little to the organs and the skin, but I'm going to say you definitely, out of a 20-pound creature, you're definitely going to get 15 pounds of meat, and as we know, one pound of meat equals 3 rations, so you can go ahead and write that down and divvy that up as you see fit. There are large rabbit's feet covered in scales. I'm just thinking about looting a corpse. Its tail is rather long and skinny and naked like a rat. It's got large, scaly kind of rabbit's feet. It has black crystalline teeth. Yeah. With a roll like that, I'd say you're able to kind of harvest whatever you want.
Cool. I'll harvest it all.
You'll harvest it. Okay. Then you get a yard of scaly skin. It will need to be cured. So right now it's raw.
Do we have any idea what this animal is called, so I can write it down in inventory? Just scaly.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, you don't know, and none of your friends know what it is. So you can call it whatever you like. If you find out what it's called, obviously I'll tell you what it is. But for now, it's whatever you want to call it.
Okay. How many pounds did you say of this scales or leather that I got from this creature?
We'll say probably 3 pounds of flesh, like skin, 3 pounds of hide, and about a yard of it. At least a yard of it continuous.
Okay, I got a yard.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yep.
And I'll give out the meat accordingly if there's, 2-3 pounds per person, however.
Yeah, there's a good 15 pounds of meat, and each pound is worth 3 rations.
So I guess I'll call this fire dog meat, and I'll just hand it out to everybody.
I don't know if I like that one.
I'll hand out 2.5 pounds there.
Okie doke. Well, as the 6 of you are... What's that?
Does that round up or down?
We'll round up. Why not? I'm not... It doesn't bother me.
Okay, so 8 per.
It's all raw meat, and, do with that what you will, as far as how to cook it, being that it's in a place that should already be cooking it.
I can eat it raw.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to prepare or cook. Sorry, guys.
It probably tastes better than how it would have regularly. definitely better than I could have made it.
All right. Well, as you all just sort of tuck into breakfast and just feel the pressing atmosphere outside of the dome as it vaporizes, we're gonna go ahead and take a little break.
Okie dokie.
All right. So it is. We're gonna call it 4:00. We'll meet back here at 4:15 Eastern Standard Time.
All
right.
And we'll see you in just a little bit.
See ya.
Okie doke. See ya.
See ya.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
power has been restored
Howdy,
and back in my house.
Oh, good. That's cool.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well. So I'll say that as you're all kind of preparing breakfast, it's, you guys definitely took full advantage of the 8 hours of rest that you had, and you turned in not early. So 8 hours after, maybe 10, it feels like a good 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, rather early. You guys are free to do whatever you wish right now.
Okay. Shared dream check.
What are you talking about?
Okay. I had
a really weird ass dream.
Okay, good. Not just me. Did it involve a really weird spiral, sort of like emanating from you out into the inky void of nothingness?
That's much
Oh,
more
no way. You had that
I
dream
could've
too?
put it.
Yeah, I did.
You know that one?
Any ideas what such a thing may mean?
Let's say that all of you go ahead and you can make a religion check, you can make a history check, you can make an arcana check. One of those three, whichever applies to you. If none of those apply, then you're just confused about what happened last night.
What were those three? Arcana, history, or...
Oh, come on. That
Religion?
was almost a natural 20.
No, I'm not good
45 on a
with
religion
any of those things.
Yeah. So you and Luna are just kind of confused about what everyone's talking about. You did experience the same vision, or the same dream, but you have no idea what it was. It was so simple and generic. There's nothing you could think of other than, I dreamed of a whirlpool.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought it was just a pretty nice dream.
All right. Koza, you don't remember anything in your druidic teachings about the forest gods, Sylvanas or any of the like. No kind of spiral-like iconography from what you can remember. I would say that Kravish and you definitely know that in magic, a spiral can sometimes be a very important kind of symbol, but you're not exactly sure what. I mean, that's sort of a way to summon a dimension door, to gesticulate with your hands in a spiral pattern. There's several spells that require you to draw something, and sometimes a spiral is used there. So this could be magical in some way. You're just not exactly sure what it's tied to, what it emanates from. And the fact that all of you had the same dream, you're not exactly sure why. It's just kind of strange. Maeven, you're kind of reaching back into your knowledge of your studies at the monastery, and spirals are not exactly unique to certain cults. There's a lot of cults out there that use a spiral as their image, but this one was so vague and generic that you're not exactly sure which one it is. So it could be cult related. You also know that a spiral is meant to represent madness at some point. You're not sure if it's related to anything specific, so you're just all kind of spitballing, and this is what you're coming up with. Baranor, you and Luna, you have no idea what any of these people are talking about. It's not ringing a bell with you at all. You just I mean, sometimes you dream about weird shapes. It's just the way it is sometimes.
Yep. And I'm just petting her before I put her back in the ring.
Okie dokie. Sorry. Axton. Yeah, a 17, that's not bad. You know that they're 18 total. Yeah, that's not bad at all. A spiral pattern as far as when you were around. I mean, you also know that there are several very, very ancient philosophies of, spiraling down into the pits of some sort of emotional state. A spiral was very powerful back then. And you also know that there are a couple of, societies that incorporate spirals into their banners and signage and things like that. It's tough. A spiral is so kind of plain and non-specific that it's kind of fallen in all of these different descriptors and origins that it's tough to pin it down to something specific.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so collective vision could mean any number of things as we're kind of like spitballing over the breakfast table trying to figure this out. It means something, but we have no idea what.
Are we still being watched?
Yeah, that feeling hasn't left. It's not stronger, it's not weaker, it's not coming from any one direction. It's just there.
Did I notice it went away when I went outside and hunted the little rodent thing?
No.
Okay, it was still there.
It was present there too, yeah. And you didn't go very far. You only went maybe 200 yards away from the hovel.
Okay, but it didn't decrease at all.
No, not really.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess once we've finished up our breakfast and gotten everything stowed, let's make our way to the big chief's house to announce your departure.
Okay. Knock, knock.
Well, and just for clarification, the title that Maeven you have here is what now?
Angnar?
Angnar.
100 yards away.
Angnar. There we go.
Yeah. Angnar. Angnar.
Angnar. Okay.
Angnar.
And you didn't know this, Maeven, because you don't speak their language, but Kravish does. You understand that to mean death priestess.
Nice.
Would Baranor also understand this? Or is that too
no.
Okay.
It's in the Gnodan language.
Okay.
It's what they chant at her. And you don't speak the language, and I don't think you share tongues.
Right. We talked about this last time. I speak primordial, which is I get a gist of what they're saying, but not the whole thing.
Yeah, and when it comes to colloquialisms like this, you have no idea what Angnar means. It sounds like slang or something. It sounds like something they say to a specific person and not like in conversation with other people.
Okay. Gelada Snagra.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
In winter.
Yes.
So yeah, so it's like, so as we're going, it's like, fun fact, did you know? They're actually calling you like the priestess of death.
Yay. That's exactly how I'd like to be remembered.
Yeah.
Did you just refer to me as White Elf?
I think that's pretty badass.
I mean, it is. It's a little...
Rather than being called like, Supreme Pussy Willow.
I mean,
we don't have to call you that. No one else outside the fire plane has to know that's what you're called.
Yeah. That might be
Unless we want them to. Be an intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Only use it when we have to kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not.
When we need the monks to do monk shit, we're just like, let's unleash the priestess of death.
Yeah.
Let's unleash the priestess of death. Okay. Fair, I guess.
It's about this time you hear a knock at the door. Knock, knock.
Before we get to that, I'm going to cast tongues. I'm trying to save time as much as possible, so I'm going to go ahead and before we make our way to the door frame, I cast tongues.
Very good. All right. You can now hear everything or understand everything.
Yep.
All right. You swing open the door and you see 3 of these these Gnodan guards. Maeven, this is pretty routine for you. They are coming to collect you for the first bout of the day. They don't really say anything. You've established at this point that you don't understand them and they are not going to waste time trying to talk to you.
I will stop them. I was like, wait. Before the events of the day begin, the Angnar wishes to speak to your chief.
They kind of look at each other and look at you, and like you're hit with a bewildered look of, you can understand me?
I present as the voice of the Angnar.
Yeah, they're blown away by this. They're just kind of like, all right. And in kind of guttural common, you come to understand, we come to bring Angnar to the arena. This is all we know. We must come. You must come. You must come with us.
The Angnar wishes to speak to your chief.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a persuasion check there, Kravish. 25. All right, they're going to kind of look amongst themselves. You hear them mutter to each other something like, this has never happened before. We're just supposed to bring the Angnar to the arena. What do we do? He wants to speak to the Vicus. I don't even know how to do that. That's way above my pay grade. And they kind of settle on, all right, let's bring them to the arena and they can speak to the captain first and find out what to do. Or not the captain. Speak to the commander first, and maybe he can point them in that direction. But, as long as we cover our own ass so we don't get in trouble. They're kind of squabbling about not wanting to get in trouble and wanting to complete their job, and we'll just bring them to the arena and figure it out there. And they turn back to you, okay, we go to arena.
I overheard them, and so I kind of explained that to Maeven that these low-level goons have no idea where the chief is, so they're just going to take us there so we can at least speak to the guard captain.
Okay.
Say the word and we'll copper attack.
Oh yes, please do.
Make it rain.
All right.
All right, they're prepared to bring you to the arena, which most of you kind of feel like that's just all they really wanted to do anyway. So I'm going to need everybody to give me a con save.
That's not good.
I mean, that's not terrible.
Now, unfortunately, 14 is passing.
Would have been better if we were blessed, but...
But don't worry, this is going to be for all day.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
As in, this is what you take as a result of being outside.
What the hell is your con,
+3, I rolled a 19.
Jesus Christ. Hanky wizard.
All right. Again, 11. You guys are lucky I'm rolling low. 11 is full. Half is 5. And half of that is 2. For those of you who did well. Let's see. Yeah, so Kravish, you're going to take 5.
Mm-hmm.
So is Koza. So is Axton. So is Maeven. Baranor, you're taking 11.
Yeah,
and you're taking 5. Yeah, this place is definitely not agreeing with most of you. It seems that you're hacking up more and more dirty phlegm. It doesn't seem to be stopping. The only relief you had was in the dome. But you do finally reach the outskirts of the town where this arena is. And as you approach the front gates to the arena, you can hear it seems like this is all these people like to do is watch fights in this arena, because it's like this place is always packed, and it's kind of early now. I mean, it did take you, about 2 hours to kind of get up and get ready for the day and deal with these guards, and then another 20-30 minutes to get to where you're at now. So you're definitely looking at about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and there's not as many people in the stands, but there's enough to make a ruckus and a roaring, cheering crowd. And at present, there are what looks like 2 Gnodan warriors, and looks like they're fighting some kind of lava rock monster. It almost looks like a Godzilla, but that crawls around on all fours and doesn't have a long tail, but has spikes all over the top of its body. Very ankylosaurus looking. There's like seams of lava that run between its joints and things like that. And the guards drop you off at Maeven's kind of her little prepping staging area, and she's got Sundancer with her. He kind of curls up in his pen. Looks like he's just kind of relaxing. He's got sort of a little nest built right there, and the guards kind of turn and said, we will get the commander to talk to you, and that will be it. And they seem very eager to kind of leave your side.
We need to be wary.
Are we going to need to fight our way out of this place? Or at least fight something before they let us leave?
Let's try to avoid that as much as we can.
Put on a good show for the people, you know?
All right.
You're just waiting here. You can hear the crowd swelling and cheering and just kind of the sounds of an audience enjoying a show, muffled through several feet of stone and whatever else is used to build this place. But it's about maybe 10-15 minutes, and your guys are actually getting to the point now where you're kind of worried that they didn't tell anybody. Yeah. And just as that feeling starts to kind of get you hot under the collar, more hot than you are now, you do see a retinue of guards approach with a figure at the center. And he's no more decorated than anybody else, although you do notice that he wears kind of a thick, heavy black chain of some kind around his right shoulder. It's got kind of like spikes and bits and bobs of obsidian attached to it. It's the only distinguishing feature about him as opposed to the other guards. And he just kind of approaches you all, and Kravish, you hear him say, "I am commander of the Gnoda Guard. What do you want? I am busy."
The Angnar wishes to speak to your chief on a matter of great importance.
The Vicus is also very busy. The Angnar has tasks. She must kill the beast to sate the crowd. We have no time to disturb the Vicus with whatever questions you may have.
Excuse me, the Angnar was not aware that she had a role in sating some creature.
She does not sate the creature, she sates the crowd with her fighting. They crave blood, and blood she gives them. This is her job. This is why the crowd loves her.
All right, I'm relaying this to Maeven.
It looks like he's starting to turn away and doesn't seem to be that interested in this conversation anymore, with what you're saying.
Okay.
He can relay all that telepathically now.
Yeah, so you hear it in your head. How are you reacting to this?
I don't know.
You're pretty much here to just make the crowd happy, to fight and kill things and make them happy.
Hate that. Okay, I'll try to stop him. I'll grab his arm or something.
Mm-hmm.
You grab his arm. He recoils a little bit, as you are much taller than he is, but they're also very dense, and so you kind of grab him, and he moves forward a couple more inches, looks back, looks at you, and kind of eyes you up and down like, what is it you want? I am busy.
Bring me to him. And I'm gonna look at my great translator man.
All right. The Angnar refuses to participate in any more combat until she is brought before the chief to speak with him. Or the Vicus.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage, because I think it's fair to say that Maeven is helping you with her gesticulation.
Yes.
Guidance.
Guidance. Ooh.
Yeah, so 29 plus the D4 for guidance.
Yep.
33.
Nice. All right. He just kind of stops dead in his tracks and just blinks at you through this large kind of helmet that he wears made of stone. And you hear this like rattled sigh from inside of his helmet. You wish to speak with the Vicus? This will cost you. It will definitely cost me. And he just says, all right, let us take him to the Vicuses. And yeah, it's not very long after that where they march you. Who all is going, by the way?
Oh, did he just pluralize that?
Yeah, all of us.
Yep, all.
No, did he?
All right, yeah. So
did he just pluralize?
yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. He pluralized the Vicuses.
Oh God.
And it's not long. They march you out of that area. And up into the first floor. He kind of stops. He shouts some orders at some of the other guards to kind of keep the rabble down and maintain your patrols to quell any fights and things like that. He's kind of shouting at people as he goes, and it looks like a very loosely organized kind of military or police force. It seems like a lot of the guards that are all similarly dressed are also chugging these stone tankards full of this brown oil that they're all drinking. And he has to stop them to get them back on patrol and things like that. So it takes you a little while to get to the front gate of the arena, but it's in the heart of this pretty dense, maybe 3-story is the tallest building around here, but they're all kind of like stone huts and adobe and anything that, you can kind of bake into a solid shape, like brick and things like that. And he brings you down a street. The streets are sort of moderately, if not densely packed when you're this close to the arena of foot traffic, before a 3 to maybe even a 4-story tapered, almost a rib cage of bones with kind of like canvas or adobe kind of wrapped and webbed around it to form a kind of a honeycomb shape. Or a beehive shape kind of a thing. And they approach the guards there. They exchange words, and they grant you entry. It's a pretty big building. It's maybe 60 to 65 feet wide at its base, tapering up to maybe 10 feet wide at the top. There's smokestacks of columns of smoke kind of just erupting from all around this entire town. Looks like you can hear the chinging and the singing of metal being shaped into weapons and things like that. There's also a lot of stonework being, stonemasons working in this part of town. They bring you inside and bring you before what looks like a number of rather well-dressed and well-decorated Gnodan people. At the very back of which you see someone sitting on what looks like a throne of obsidian and not very well carved, very rugged looking. But there's also copper that sort of twist around the banisters and stuff like that. It looks like there's a little bit of artisanal metalwork around here that all lead to this gathering area, and there are Gnodans lining either side of this reception hall. Some are laying down on their sides and looks like they're eating something from a bowl together. There's several of these characters sort of communing with each other, not necessarily up towards the center of the dais. But the main character that you see, he looks like this. He's got a few people around him, and He's kind of unique in that he wears a crown of fiery jewels. He has a breastplate of pure copper. It looks like it's rather rough in its hewn, and he bears a couple of copper like horns almost as shoulder pads. He carries a large scepter of steel with fiery jewels at the top that are actively aflame, and there are a couple other people around him that look somewhat similarly well adorned. And you hear the commander fall to one knee. "O Vicus, I bring you the Angnar. She has requested your presence and an audience with your excellency." And you see him just sort of lean forward, and he's a little taller than everybody else. The horns on top of his head are a little taller, a little sharper, maybe a little more well polished. He's got tattoos on his face, across his chest, his hands, and yeah, he just kind of leans forward and holds his scepter. "Angnar, it is good to make your acquaintance finally. I hear good things of your combat prowess. You make the people happy. This makes me happy. What can the Vicus do for you?"
We just kind of look to each other as we're kind of communicating telepathically, Maeven. Like, okay, were you ready to make our pitch?
Let's make the pitch. Let's do the thing.
Okay, so as I turn back towards the Vicus, I'm like, "Thank you for granting the Angnar this audience, O powerful Vicus. I serve as her spokesperson to you.
It's not often we see outsiders who speak our language. It is nice to be able to speak to visitors in our tongue. What is your name, traveler?"
"My name is Kravish."
"Kravish, and where do you hail from?" And he's looking at all of your friends. He's looking at everybody and kind of gesturing to everyone.
We hail from an area far from here. Probably...
Right.
Yeah, not even from this plane of existence.
And they all kind of look at each other. As soon as you say plane of existence, they kind of look at each other like, "What did he say? What does that mean?" They don't seem to understand what you meant by that.
Right.
They're flat planers.
Yeah, for real. We come from a world far different from this.
So
we have actually come to collect the Angnar, for she is missed on our world.
So you come from a world apart from the abyss?
That is correct.
Interesting. Have only met a few people from beyond the desert's borders. But it is nice to see someone from your realm, not outwardly hostile. And you kind of see him kind of scratch an itch on his chin, and you notice a kind of a deep gouge that looks different from some of the scars that you've seen on some of these people. It looks like a very, very sharp blade made this, whereas everybody else has scars, but they're kind of jagged, kind of like tears or things like that.
Yes. We mean no hostility toward anyone we visit.
Well, we are looking forward to the
time.
Angnar's latest battle. What can we do for you now?
Yes, we have come to bring the Angnar home, for she is missed dearly on our world and has a host of new challenges ahead of her there.
All right, go ahead and make another persuasion check.
Okay, I'm assuming
just real quick. Yeah.
Guidance?
Guidance? Oh, okay, so...
I mean, he's just speaking, so we can understand what he's saying, so...
Yeah. Okay, so that's a 24.
All right. Yeah, they're going to kind of... he's going to lean back in his throne, and you see them kind of lean into each other and mutter, a little too quiet for you to hear, as you are decidedly lower in elevation and a little farther away from them, maybe like 20, 30 feet, and they're whispering to each other. No Angnar has ever left, once given the title of Angnar. This is irregular.
We realize the very unusual nature of our request. and true to our nature to not seek violence or bloodshed with anyone we come across that bears no ill to us, we are willing to compensate this council for her departure.
You see them kind of look at each other and nod, like, that sounds like a good idea. And he's like, no Angnar has ever left. Might take quite a bit of a tribute to relinquish her duties. And you see them all kind of snicker, like, yeah, that was a good one, Vicus. Like, good.
I'm going to give him all 100.
What I'll do is I will take a bag of 200 copper. And I'm like, please accept this generous donation to your kingdom as compensation. And I kind of, let it throw down in front of them and let it open and just spill out.
Yeah, they definitely are interested in what you're presenting, and one of his kind of stool pigeons sort of descends the steps and kind of gathers the coins and just sort of races up and shows him. He doesn't look that impressed by a bag of copper like that, and he just says, I have more than this in my personal coffers. What else do you have? What'd you say, bud?
I look at him with a kind of a grin, and I'm like, you think that's all?
I was telling Maeven not to take that too personally.
I kind of look at him with a little sly grin, and I'm like, you think that's all?
Yeah, he kind of picks it up, and he scoops a handful of it out and raises it out of the bag, lets it trickle through his fingers back into the bag, and he says, this may buy her maybe a week's vacation in the material plane, but total liberation? That would require something special. Tell you what, this make for good down payment. And he just kind of stands to his feet, and you see everybody else sort of like back up a little bit, and he raises his fire staff to a what looks like a tapestry carved into the wall behind you, and he says, what if her and her friends battle the Alpha Beast? Only once in a generation does an Angnar fight the Alpha Beast. It brings Gnoda from all corners of the nation to watch. It is a great honor to fight and slay the Alpha Beast. You do that, we will let the Angnar retire in peace.
All right. I'm like, a moment. I turn and I face the rest of you guys, and it's like, yeah, we were right. They're going to want us to face a big baddie.
Yeah.
As you look at it, it looks very similar, Maeven, to the creature that you defended Sundancer against, although this one looks bigger. The one that you fought was technically large. This looks a little bigger than that.
I think I fought maybe one of these before.
How long is this going to take?
I'm sure they'll bring it into the... We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Can we I just want to leave this place real bad.
Well, I mean, if we buy a week's vacation for you, we just not come back.
Yeah, we just don't come back. I mean, they're not going to know how to get to us.
Or will they?
I mean, or will they? That's the question.
Well, if they do, we'll be long gone. They won't know where the hell we are.
I mean...
Unless they put some sort of tracker on you, which I doubt they did.
I mean, we
let's also
are
remember
being watched. So.
This guy is aware of travelers from other realms.
Yeah.
Is he? Or is he aware of other people from other places in the fire realm that he thinks is another realm?
That's a good point.
Are we really willing to risk it? I mean, y'all got branded that one time and almost had your brains explode. So
Whoa. Some of us.
Almost
Some
is
of
the
us.
key word here.
I didn't get Brandon, and my brain didn't almost explode. That was all y'all, guys.
I say if we gonna cancel his contract, let's cancel his damn contract.
Let's just. Yeah. I am in agreement.
Fine.
Yeah, I remember
Again.
what it was like to be a hunted man. It ain't cool.
Again, how long is this going to take where they're going to bring Gnoda from other places to watch this fight?
Okay, that's what you meant.
Yeah. Like, are we going to be here another month?
Please, God, no.
Yeah.
Please, God, no, yeah.
Please, Paylor, no.
We turn back and very well.
Yeah.
We agree to your terms. We look forward for a spirited combat this afternoon.
He just kind of puts his hand up. With all due respect, slow your horses. What's a horse?
Yeah. Slow your
And he
fire
said
lizard.
he kind of he kind of stands to his feet and he says, "We have a compact. The outsiders. What do you call yourselves?"
That once we successfully defeat the Alpha Beast, the Angnar, and her assembled companions.
He's asking what we call ourselves.
What do we call her? Oh, I'm just kind of backtracking just to remind him that, it's not just Maeven that gets to leave and the rest of us get stuck behind.
No, we do not cheat here. We are told that is the realm of devils. But here, we play fair. If you live, you live. If you die, you die.
First person to die loses. We are known as the Crown Collectors.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check with that, just to see how he takes that word.
Legendary outlaw.
Legendary outlaw. All right.
Guidance.
All right. You said persuasion at advantage.
No, this will just be a straight roll.
Guidance.
Okay, I thought you said with advantage, but okay, that's fine.
Well, that was before.
Straight persuasion. Plus guidance. 23.
23. Okay. You see, as soon as you say crown collectors, they all kind of look at each other, and they all kind of look on top. They kind of like give that I'm looking up at the top of my head, and you see them kind of like pick their headgear off and just kind of put it behind them briefly.
But rest assured, as long as everyone plays fair, you will get to keep your crowns.
And yeah, you say you see them kind of relieved, and he kind of steps up and says, "Well, the crown collectors, we shall see them battle the Alpha Beast. It has been many, many days, or weeks, or years since we had an Alpha Beast in our arena." And you see them kind of gesture to some of the people that are standing on the upper levels of this that face outward. You see these giant kind of magma obsidian-like horns. And you say, "Blow the horns! Assemble the Gnoda! We shall draw them in for miles to see this battle." And you see all of them kind of bow, and the whole place starts to erupt in a bit of excitement. And you hear them mouth these horns and "Yes, they will come from near and far, and on the morrow we shall have our battle. If you defeat the Alpha Beast, you shall be free."
Mark.
And they all kind of cheer.
All right, guys. Looks like we're here another day.
Fantastic.
Tell me about
You see them kind of pat you on the back, and they start talking about what you're wearing, and kind of find themselves kind of giggling at the state of your clothing. And you hear one of them say, "Oh, you must wear my stone armor. You must wear my ceremonial garb. It will be a wonder to see you killed by the alpha beasts while wearing my brand." Things like that.
I can't hear you, Steph.
Politely decline. I don't wear armor. Too bulky.
You guys can go ahead and delete all of your copper, because they did take that.
I gave him 200.
Yeah, that was just
All right.
We have more.
I deleted
Bogey,
my...
how do you find a gif of falling pennies like that? How does that happen?
Magic, Dad. It's magic.
I literally typed in coin into the GIF search, and that's what came up.
It just makes me laugh that you have it's the perfect gif.
Yeah. Oftentimes,
right,
I do. That's what I do. I just search random, things that might bring up something, and I'm always surprised by the gifs that pop up.
Right. Yeah. No doubt. All right, so you have the rest of the day. You have the rest of the day at your disposal. They kind of dismiss you because it looks like all of the upper echelon here are kind of whispering back and forth. Maybe they're making plans. It sounds like they're talking about preparations to be made for the alpha fight. The arena must be cleansed and prepared and things like that. You see a couple of the shamanistic looking people talking about rites and rituals that have to be performed, things like that. So it seems like this place is kind of exploding at this idea.
Lovely.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, here we are. It's only about probably 11 in the morning, and...
You said you fought a baby one of these things. What can we expect of it?
Don't have the details of that. Oh.
Yeah, it was a large fire lobster with several legs. It had a very powerful claw attack. It was on fire. Had big claws in the front, and it was pretty fast. You remember?
I relay all the information given.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fast, big claws, literally on fire.
Okay.
That's what they put little Sundancer up against. Versus Skydancer.
Well, I mean, the comforting thing is that you took that thing on by yourself.
It was a little one. That one's going to be a lot bigger.
And since that one, how big was the little one?
I would say bigger than Sundancer, smaller than a mountain.
Yeah, it was considered large, and Sundancer is a small large.
Yeah. Okay. So Sundancer and a half, and that was the baby one. That was a little one.
Hey, so we can imagine a full-grown one to be a fair amount bigger. Okay.
You all will notice that you did pass by a commercial area to this village, and you do have the rest of the day to yourselves. If there's anything you'd like to explore, anything you'd like to do, anything you'd like to purchase, the day is yours. And it's made mention to you that this will not commence until the break of day tomorrow.
Maybe we could find some clothes that aren't charred to ribbons.
Yeah, I would like that.
So would I.
Do I have a saddle or whatever I would need for Sundancer? Or
you do not. As a matter of fact, every time you ride him, it hurts.
Okay.
He's a little spiky on top. You've been enduring it because you love him so far, but he's not super comfortable to ride.
Okay.
And you were not given anything. You were not given anything to put on top of him. No.
I would like to find something like that.
Okay. You would notice that there are no mounted creatures here. These people do not ride things. So to make something out of some kind of hide would require you to help the leathersmith, as there is such a thing, design it. That would probably take time. And I'll just say, without even rolling, that having that made is not going to happen today.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Is there maybe a blanket or something that could mitigate some of the heat that I could buy?
Yeah, I'll say that you guys kind of wander out into town, and you do find somebody that sells what looks like a weaved mat, or like a rug of some kind. It's definitely fireproof, because mostly everything as far as clothing here is fireproof, if it's not just outright made of stone. There is a lot. The fashion here is weird. There's a lot of people wearing layered stone slabs of thin slate that is kind of adhered together to form, clothing. That's the peasant garb, if there is such a word. But there is somebody that makes a weaved mat out of maybe some kind of natural asbestos. It almost looks like fine fiber optic crystal that's been weaved together to form this rug. It's very thick. It's about a half an inch thick. It is going to cost you some money. They do ask for 400. What you understand is Gnodan head coins, and what you've seen traded here looks like the profile of some patriarch of note on this kind of stamped or chiseled obsidian kind of little nugget, and he's asking 400 for it. You know that's not that much. You do have a collection of it from your winnings at your hovel, and I'll say, just for the heck of it, that you did bring some with you. You've got 1,000 head coins at your disposal right now. They're little. They're about the size of a marble.
Easy enough. I'll buy it, and then you can fashion some kind of leather belt to hook it underneath. I'm sure.
Yeah.
What is it
sure.
You're looking for? You're looking for a saddle?
Yeah, just something. Yeah. Yes, is the short answer question.
If you want it made mostly of metal and maybe with some leather straps, just give me an hour and I can make one.
I love that. I don't have any metal.
I have leather working tools. I can help with that.
So I can just use my channel divinity, Artesian's Blessing, and I can make any object. As long as it's worth 100 gold pieces or less.
Okay.
Never mind.
Love that.
Yeah, I would say it would have to be very, very, for 100 gold, something big enough to fit around Sundancer. It'd have to be very rudimentary and probably won't last very long. 100 gold's not a whole lot when it comes to leather working.
I don't
know if anybody...
I'm pretty sure a normal saddle for a dragon is 25 gold.
A dragon?
Yeah.
No way.
I'll double check.
Dragon saddle.
The things you have to Google.
Is that even a thing?
Yeah, it's under barding and stuff like that.
Exotic saddle equipment on D&D Beyond. Required
saddle,
for any...
riding 10 gold for a normal horse saddle.
Aerodynamic.
So this would have to be exotic because of the materials that you're going to make it out of, because I could just tell you right now, if you make this out of leather, not that you even have any leather, and no one sells leather here, you're going to have to make it out of local hide. So that would have to count as exotic, and it would cost 60 GP.
So less than 100.
Yep. So I'll say that the rug can serve as a blanket, and you can make a saddle out of exotic materials. I'm gonna have to ask you to buy some of it first, because you're gonna have to familiarize yourself with the materials at least to make it. I think it's kind of a little over and above you just conjuring a material that you've never heard of before.
I don't know. You're the boss. Because it's whatever metal it says. As long as it's metal, I can make it out of it because of my channel divinity.
You want to make it out of metal?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to retain heat. You know that's how metal works.
Well, I'm guessing some of the materials here I'll probably use some of the scales from that dog that we just had.
Okay. You do have a yard of that. All right. What would you like it to look like? What kind of style would you like it to have?
Whatever Maeven would.
Simple. No frills. You know me.
No frills. All right. Well, he's going to have that. It's kind of a white asbestos kind of material as that rug. And I'm just looking at what Bogey just posted. Yeah, what is the aerodynamics of a cow? Yeah, you're able to kind of conjure a crude metal frame that she's able to kind of place on top of Sundancer. It's not gonna feel good still. The heat's gonna kind of the heat from just the ambient temperature is gonna heat up this metal, and you're able to place and affix with your leatherworking tools this hide. I will say that it's raw, fleshy hide. It has not been cured. It has not been processed. It doesn't dry out here like you'd think it would, because this is the normal ambient temperature, and so it's not going to last very long. It might last the day, and yeah, we were able to use these materials to create this kind of riding harness that she's going to have to buckle herself in, and it's going to require a bonus action for you to unbuckle yourself if you're in the middle of combat as you're riding. And yeah, but it looks like it's going to work. Let's just say that.
And again, this doesn't have to last forever, just long enough for us to get back home, and we can get a sturdier saddle if we wish.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So that's going to take you an hour. What would anybody else like to be doing during this day?
Finding some clothes.
Clothes, all right. Go ahead and roll investigation or persuasion if you'd like to talk your way throughout town. Mind you, how long does tongues last?
1 hour. I've had to recast it.
All right, so you're definitely deep into your second hour of tongues. So yeah, you can roll a investigation check or a persuasion check, Kravish, to find a clothier.
Nat 20.
Wow. All right.
This is the least surprising Nat 20 of all time.
What?
Kravish finding clothing?
Yeah. Your ability to find fancy clothing is
unmatched in this or any other realm.
That is on brand.
I thought we got rid of the guy who had all the wardrobe shit.
Apparently no. Just transferred it. Fine.
You can take the fashion. You can take the Dragonborn out of the fashion. You can't take the fashion out of the Dragonborn.
No, I'm talking about the changeling we used to have.
Oh yeah, who had the wardrobe? Yeah, like look, I didn't choose the thug life. The thug life chose me. Okay?
I think at this point, Kravish has way more outfits than he ever did.
Oh yeah. For sure.
For sure. All right, so it's and the name escapes me. Your clothier in Dane, something and Sons.
Vickers, Boyers, something like that.
I think it was like Visters and Sons or something like that. I'm sure I'll go back and listen because it'll bug me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's no fashions. There's no fashionable clothier here. Unfortunately, they don't seem to put a lot of stock in flashy gear unless you are one of the higher ups in this community. But you do find what looks like long hide pants and some kind of a chain shirt made of kind of linked obsidian rings. It's all very kind of weirdly S&M. There's a lot of hide leather straps and buckles and things like that. But it's all earth tones. There's not a lot of dyeing going on around here. No dyeing of cloth and things like that. The problem is that you all lack currency because you already gave away all your copper.
All my copper.
Aside from the... Okay, well, it's going to cost... we're just going to do it just like gold, because here, copper is like gold. It's going to be 15 copper per outfit. if you would like something that will get you through until you can leave, that doesn't look like it's
has all of
been
his.
charred. What's that?
Goza still has all of his.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be 15 gold or 15 copper per outfit, whoever wants to buy one. Yuno's outfit's okay. Axton's outfit is okay. I think Koza, yours is pretty burnt up, but that's the armor, and it's not really burnt through. It's more just
it's just
surface charring.
Hard.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to get enchanted as soon as we get back.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to set. Yeah, I'll need a set. Maeven need a set of clothing.
Probably.
Oakley Dorkle. All right. Okay, so is there anything anybody would like to do with the rest of their day? We can speed through a night's rest and all that if you guys want. That's not a problem.
Can we get some local lore? Can we get some local lore on the Alpha Beast?
Ah, yes. Yeah, you had a 33 for persuasion. I'm going to roll that into this as well, but I am going to need you or anyone who's with you who's proficient in history to roll a check for that. Let's see how much you can absorb.
I'm proficient in history.
Smart guy.
I will guidance you now.
All right.
And what type of check are we doing again?
A history check, please, if you're proficient.
I am super proficient, so please hold. How much does guidance give again? It's another D4?
Yep.
Okay, so it's 27 without guidance, and with guidance, it's 29.
All right, so a 23 and a 29. And Maeven, did you want to roll as well?
I could do that. It's not gonna be that high. 21.
21. I think we lost Corey on roll 20, but that's all right. Okay. 21, 23, and 29. Yep, yes, we got you.
Yep.
It just looks like you got kicked off a roll 20 is all.
You got...
Okay.
You're coming in real broken.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Okay, well, I'll log back.
Oh, there, now you're good.
I love Discord. Isn't it great? I think we should all get on Zoom meetings for real.
A little bit.
I think we should find a new voice chat system because Discord sucks. It's got so many problems.
Let's try.
But that's a discussion for another day.
All
right, with those history checks, the Alpha Beast is something that is, we'll say that it's something that everybody has known, everybody has seen the Alpha Beast. They consider it the most grand of natural predators, at least in this area. There are monsters that roam the wastes of this, and I'm going to say that in knowing of the Alpha Beast, you also kind of learn a little bit more about where you are. You heard the Vicus mention the Abyss, and with that history check, I'm going to roll all of this into that as well. That you're starting to learn that, at least from people who lived here, that have also done their own kind of education on this place.
I'm back on my phone.
Oh, okay. I can hear you just fine. You've learned that while not fully understanding the nature of where this is in relation to other places, because that's kind of as foreign to them as it would be to us in real life. Like, for us to discover there's a multiverse, you're not going to know anything about those other dimensions right off the bat, and that's kind of how they are. They get little snippets of information from travelers and things like that. And you learn that this place is sort of like a outer edge kind of demi realm or demi-plane sort of that shares a lot of cosmic space with the outermost, most wasteland and desolate, isolated kind of portions of the Abyss. The reason that you're seeing so many fire elementals and that fire is such a prevalent element here is it's almost like this plane was dipped into the fire plane, but it still is sort of a tertiary subsect of the outer fringes of the abyss. You have not seen any demons, not that you know of anyway. You haven't even seen any like demonology or iconography that give you a sense of like real evil. It's almost like the abyss in its infinite chaos kind of, you know, fluttered out this little tiny space where there's a lot of emptiness, and these creatures have kind of evolved here from some earlier life form. None of these people seem inherently evil. They're all very violent.
Several, but the torchlight appears to still be.
You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. It sounded like somebody was talking.
Yeah. About a porch light.
Okay. So we're like in the hinterlands of the abyss.
Or the outer limits.
Yeah, the outer limits is a good way to say it, because it's not exactly the abyss. Because, you know, in talking about the Alpha Beast, you also talked to the fact that none of these people know what a demon is. They've never seen one. A demon has never traveled here, and they seem shocked at the idea of a creature of pure evil. You know, these people may be like violent and bloodthirsty and love rabble and love to revel in violence and combat, but it's never done out of cruelty. It's just done because everyone loves it.
Okay, I can respect that.
So the Alpha Beast itself, they don't know how big it can get, because it seems like they're coaxed out of large lava flows through a specific ritual, but it's pretty much just what it sounds like. It's a large, thin-legged crustacean with huge claws and a razor-sharp edge to these blades on the ends of their legs. They emit fire and smoke, and they seem to be rather fast, and they're just really hard to kill, and so they're kind of revered for their raw power, kind of like a kaiju. Like there's no religion behind it. It's just so big and powerful that it typically draws a lot of worship for its prowess. And that's kind of all it is. It's got a hard carapace, but people do fight them and kill them. There are many champions of these battles that are spoken of in tapestries and carvings and stories. So
are they particularly known for their cunning?
No, they're not known to be particularly intelligent. They don't speak. Nobody regards them as having a strategy. Just kind of slash and bite and stab at whatever's in front of them. Is kind of the Alpha Beast's kind of MO.
Okay, again, I can respect that.
Right. Yeah. You do get a lot of kind of pats on the back, like, this is going to be a great honor for you. I'll definitely be attending the battle and looking on and things like that.
Hope you live, or hope I don't.
Actually, yeah, you don't get much encouragement as far as coming out victorious. They're just interested to watch.
They just hope both teams have fun.
Yeah.
Makes a good show.
Yeah, definitely. But I will say this: I will reward you for researching this thing as much as you can. So I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a +1 to your initiative, being that you've learned as much as you can about its battle tactics and its history. You kind of know a little bit more about this creature they call the Alpha Beast. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and add a +1 to your initiative once this happens, that's perfectly reasonable according to me. So, okie dokie. So,
did we lose somebody again?
Nope. I think we got everyone.
I heard the little notification like somebody connecting and disconnecting.
Sorry, things are going really wonky around here.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me about it. I just bought a brand new microphone that doesn't like to work without a delay.
That's not fun at all.
No, I got to figure that out for sure. I don't like not having access to my brand new microphone for what I bought it for.
Yep.
All right. So the day can continue. It's up to you guys if there's anything you wanted to do before we progress to the next day.
I'd like to examine to see if there are any weapons or anything like that that are, I don't know, interesting. If there is any metal around here that is, not giving off heat, just take a look. Anything.
All right, well, I'm not going to require investigation because you're kind of a weapons guy, so I'm just going to give this to you. I will, however, I will ask you to make... You already made a history check for the creature, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to make you roll history, but I would like you to roll not investigation, just a general perception check.
Just a general perception. Well, again, guidance.
Yep. 16. Okay.
Well,
so
it's a bit higher. 18.
Yeah, a bit higher. You're right. 18. Okay. So with your perception, that's a pretty good roll. Your passive wisdom's pretty good, and I'm going to say your passive investigation also comes into play here, as it's not hard to find. There are several what you could consider blacksmiths. And you do find a couple. You kind of have your pick. There's no like blacksmith alley or anything like that. They're just sort of peppered in, and you can spend the day just kind of milling about, letting everybody know what you're doing, and then kind of walking around and wandering in and out of the shops and things like that. Everything here is very primitive, so there's a lot of outdoor blacksmithing going on. And as far as weapons, yes, there is a plethora of weapons. I would say the most common weapon you find is either a stone club, which is made sometimes of obsidian, sometimes it's just made of like hard granite. They're very heavy. You also find spears that are just kind of carved stalactites, and those look like they're very, very sharp. Again, rather heavy to hold. But you also find some blacksmiths are working in metal, which does seem kind of rare around here for weapons. Mm-hmm. What you find here, and being a weapons master, you've heard of the substance black steel or dark steel. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's it is what it sounds like. It's a black metal, and it seems like these people use it for every aspect of their metalwork. Chains, buckles, armor, if any. Sometimes they'll use flattened black steel or dark steel plates, but also weapons. There are people that make not swords, because what you've found is that a steel blade doesn't do as much to the flora and fauna around here, because everything is has very tough armor plating of like rock and stuff like that. So a blade, really, they don't have a lot of blades around here. It's a lot of spears and kind of blunt implements like clubs, cudgels, maces, things like that.
Okay, cool. Well, I'd like to try to get as much of that black metal or whatever it is as I can.
As much as you want?
As much as I can find.
Oh, well, I mean, you can buy dark steel slag, and I'll say they're gonna, if you're spending copper, you can get enough to carry before you run out of room in your sack and you reach your lifting capacity. I'll say if you spend 20 copper, you'll get enough.
Cool. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. They'll even sell it to you in ingots. How do you like that?
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'll 20 copper.
If you give them the copper, it's going to be the equivalent of that in gold once you get home. So if you want to annotate that in your notes, that you actually paid copper for them, and whatever, you paid the 20 or whatever in copper, it's actually worth 20 gold once you get home.
Okay. So what was it called again, just to be sure, so I have my notes?
Dark steel.
Dark steel, okay.
Yep, and you've seen weapons made of dark steel before. It's not a particularly unique metal. It's tempered differently, and it's tempered with oil that gives it this darkened look to it, and it makes for interesting weapons that are made of blackened steel instead of shiny steel.
And it just doesn't look like it's like producing, or it's not burning up in this heat.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be affected by the heat at all.
Okay, and how many pounds would you say that I got out of spending 20 copper?
Pounds? I mean, what's your carrying capacity?
My carrying capacity with a strength of 20?
Yeah.
1 second. My carrying capacity is 300 pounds.
Okay, and you're 300 pounds, so you're definitely carrying gear, so I'll say you get... What the heck? I'll say you get 200 pounds of dark steel.
Yeah.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
That'd be hard to... Can we put that in the bag of holding if possible?
I don't think that would break. I mean, honestly, 200 pounds of steel, you're talking like maybe enough to fit in the space of like a microwave oven. Like, it wouldn't take much steel to make 200 pounds.
Depends on how dense it is and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, it's just as dense as carbon steel. It's only at an aesthetic difference.
Are you saying it's a heavy metal?
It is. Well, for metal, it's not a heavy metal. It's a very average metal. But that doesn't roll off the tongue, does it?
I just wanted the groan from Steph that I got, so thank you.
Happy to oblige.
And I don't know if you don't mind backtracking. If I could learn that there was dark steel, I would have made her harness or her saddle out of that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, she has a dark steel framed riding harness with a very wet and raw and slimy uncured hide to protect her from the heat, which isn't totally working. Although it's keeping her thighs and stuff clean, because that's mostly because of the rug.
It's working a little bit better than just her bare ass.
That's right.
Bearer. Baranord just is tagging along with random people. He's not really doing much.
Okay. Koza, anything you guys would like to do today?
Unless they have some sort of enchanter.
Knuckle knife out of dark steel for me.
Ooh, that would look cool.
I can do that tomorrow if you give me an hour.
Then I'm going to cast a new spell with it. It's called Stabby Stab.
Ooh. Is that a cantrip?
Yes.
All right.
If you just wanted some knuckle duster
Knives, I got that. I guess they're not dark steel, though.
All right, Koza, what would you like to do?
Unless they have an enchanter, not a whole lot.
Would you like to look for one?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to need an investigation check from you on that one, though.
Okay, that's not a problem. Nope.
Not a problem.
I mean, it's cocked on my sheet, but
yeah.
My dice love almost rolling natural 20s, and then not.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have much luck finding an enchanter. As a matter of fact, most of the people in the grand populace of this city, they're not very magical. They're all kind of very primitive and hand-to-hand fighting, and you know, they don't really. It seems like the upper people may have dabbled in that, before, but nothing on the ground level. Sorry.
That's all right.
All right. Anything else from any of you? We can end the day and progress to the next morning.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. At least that's my...
All right. Okay, well, you make your way back to Maeven's hovel, and again, settling for the night. You're all very eager to put the dome up again. It's been a bit of a rough day. You're all still kind of hacking your lungs up with soot in your lungs. You now know the intimate taste of sulfur and brimstone, and getting in the dome once again is is definitely very inviting. I will say, however, on your way out of town, as you draw closer to Maeven's hovel, that feeling of being watched does return and is consistent. As you're there, some of you are able to kind of brush it off because you don't. Like I said, nobody seems to be on the perimeter. I will say that this feeling really rubs some of you the wrong way. So those of you who are proficient in perception, as you approach her hovel, go ahead and give me a perception roll if you're proficient, as this feeling being centered even in a wide net thrown around her property, it does seem to get stronger the closer you get to her place, although it starts to get stronger like half a mile away, and it looks like that feeling probably would be in all directions. So perception, 12 from Kravish, 20 for Axton with a 22 total, 6 from Maeven gets a 12, Baranor gets a 27.
Everyone.
Yeah, I'll say even those of you who rolled high, you look around, you can't see anybody like hiding behind a rock. Her house is really kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and there's just nothing out here. But there's also a lot of places to hide. There's these big crystal outcroppings and rocks that jut out, and layers of shale that create these little crevices and stuff. So it's kind of impossible to really see everything from where you are. But you don't see anything that would give you cause for alarm. The night passes without incident, although I will say, in the night, you all have the same recurring dream again. It's the same dream you had before, and it's that of a huge, distant cosmic spiral of like green and blue and purple and red, and it's kind of like changes and shifts colors, and it just slowly rotates. And you don't hear anything other than the deafening silence of being in a giant empty space, if that makes sense. You all rise the next day, and you all confirm that, yes, you all had the same dream again.
Okay.
Weird.
Okay. Well, that's freaky.
Yeah. The guards once again knock on your door, and invite you to the arena to take part in the Battle of the Alpha Beast. And as you travel with them, they kind of are regaling you with legends and mythical tales of the largest of the Alpha Beasts that have ever been summoned. And it all kind of builds as you are approaching the center of this city. It takes you about maybe an hour to fully navigate your way into the city, and kind of getting dropped off at Maeven's little staging area. The volume of the crowd is actually really hard to endure because there's so many people now. It looks like they've squeezed in about 3 times the amount of Gnoda citizens into this arena that it would normally take, and there's standing room only. There's people in the aisles. There's people in the next to the stands. There's people climbing the outer walls to be able to see. Occasionally, one of them falls to his death. This is just how it is here. Very primitive, very guttural, and
a ruder, cruder version of the Ellington Classic.
Yeah, you guys are getting serious classic vibes, albeit there's a lot more fire and not quite as much eloquence. There's only the musical thumping of drums, and it's not until about maybe an hour or two after you got there. It looks like they already had a couple of opening act battles that they bring you to the top floor where the Vicus is standing, and he just kind of stands there for a while, and you hear him gesticulating to the crowd. Kravish, you can hear him regaling the audience with tales of the Alpha Beast and how fortunate they are to have this creature. You hear him boast about the hunting party that went out that very night last night and were able to draw out a particularly large alpha beast from the lava flats, which you've learned from your research into the alpha beast is kind of where they live. It's a portion of land closer to the volcano. They performed the ritual. What's that?
I said, "Oh goody, they got a big one for us."
Is he the biggest Vicus?
I'm not falling into that, Bogey. And they kind of introduce the crown collectors, these travelers from another realm who have come to taste the combat prowess of the Gnodan people in their most cherished and honorable match that they have, and that is the Alpha Beast fight. And there's not a lot of ceremony. It's mostly like, we're here, this is going to be awesome, place your bets now, and let's get on with the main event. And they usher you to the edge of the fighting pit.
And bets on ourselves?
If you want to run investigation checks on who to find for that, we can go ahead and do that.
Didn't you do that last time?
I did, yeah, and I won.
All right.
Investigation guidance.
Keep in mind, slashing weapons probably aren't going to do very much.
I think I got something with my guidance, or with my investigation. I don't know.
All right.
Natural 20 for a total of 23.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. I lost my earbuds, so I'm just going to talk at you through the phone. This is a lot of fun dealing with all this crap. Anywho. All right. Did you say that you did want to look at somebody to bet with?
I did. I rolled a natural 20.
They're betting with copper.
Oh, that's
just so you know.
That's fine.
As long as you're not betting on the Alpha Beast.
I'll put down 255 copper.
255 copper. All right. Are you putting it all on your team to win? Are you going with a spread? How do you want to do that?
All on our team to win.
All on your team to win. All right. That's going to be 10-1 odds.
We faced worse.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to just keep track of how much you're going to win if
I just wrote it down in my inventory. 255 bet on us to win in copper.
Got it. Okay. The crowd grows silent. The drums grow louder and a more rhythmic do-doosh, do-doosh, do-doosh. You all find yourselves at the base of the fighting pit. They open the cage door. They usher you in. I am going to bring everybody over to the map. All right, so let's have everybody place your minis wherever you want on the map, as long as it's inside the inner circle where the battle map squares are. And I seriously would not place yourself on any of the areas that look like that's active. That would be very bad. I can promise you would not have a good time.
I don't know if I like this new update to Roll20.
I don't like any update. All right, there's you. And if anybody's unable to, let me know now.
Yeah, I'm not able to. I don't know why it always gives me trouble.
It always does. I don't know why.
I'm all squished too.
I can't.
Squished.
And I think I'm an older version.
Nope, I just made that.
Did you?
I did.
I can't place myself. Steph can't place herself.
Is there any way to
I'm trying.
image now as my character so that we don't have to unsquish me?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Is there any way to unsquish me or to save it as an unsquished version?
No, it's the way Roll20 works. As soon as you place something on the map, it takes up one square. And since I've drawn yours, Kravish and Koz's, to take up more than one, I just have to resize it. And there's Maeven. She looks badass.
Always does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's that. I'm missing Baranor as well.
Okay. I can move it. I just can't.
Cozy, you're just big.
It's such a
I'm a
big
big
name.
boy.
Yeah.
Okay,
With an eye.
I'm a big boy.
I'm big bone.
everybody post up, place yourselves. Who needs me to roll initiative for you, or at least enter your turn? Who needs that?
I think I should be good.
As long as initiative thing
Click on
is there, I
myself.
can click on myself.
Okay.
Koza's got a bit of, how we say, fluff on him. He's got a bit of a dad bod.
It's all this fur. It makes me look
Oofy.
But it adds height to you.
He's tall.
Oh no, Koza's tall, but he's also got a bit of a gut.
Yeah.
Love that.
that.
Dad bod
He's
all
just,
the way.
He is just a big guy.
Did you see that?
Add the +1 to your initiative.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yep. Everybody gets +1 added to their initiative.
I am going to give
Can you add me?
I'm going to give Mr. Kravish advantage.
All right, Kervish, you have advantage.
Hey,
Can I not change my...
Oh no, Ken, it looks like it did add you.
yeah, it added you, Ken.
Yeah, you got a 15 there. Which one is it? Is it the 15 or the 20, Ken?
There shouldn't be a 15. It's a dirty 20.
Okay, I'll get rid of that one then. All right, so...
Oh no.
It's either a 22 or a 13. 22 for me.
22 for Kravish. It looks like you got a 24.16.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. So I
Is
did.
that what you rolled?
I did. I rolled, my two rolls were either those two initiative rolls don't factor in that additional +1. So it's a 22 or a 13. So 22.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Looks like everybody. Yeah, Kravish has 2 as well. We're going to keep bigger one. All right, let's go ahead and descend this. And hey, let's have a couple rounds of combat before we end the session. How about that?
Okay.
Let's do it. It sounds like fun to me. It's nearing the end of the session. I know there's a couple of you that need to bounce, but let's do a couple rounds and then we'll finish up next time. Kaboom!
Sounds like good.
All right. As you all stand in the middle of this arena, the crowd begins to, you hear them chanting and chanting. They're saying alphabets in the Gnodan language. And up above, you see what looks like descending on black steel chains is this huge, mega fiery lobster creature. And you hear just as it hovers about 30 feet above the middle grate of this room, you hear everybody start to chant, "Alpha Beast! Alpha Beast!" And then and then you hear something chink. It lets go, descends, and plops down in the middle of this field. Right there. And you hear the crowd go wild. Ah, yeah! And at this point, you can't understand anything they're saying. Kravish, you are first. You have this big, giant, fiery lobster creature right next to, well, not next to anybody, really. You guys kind of spread out. But right in the middle of this room, what do you want to do first? You are up next.
I'm pretty sure I go first. There's only 4 people on my turn order.
Yeah.
Really?
I rolled
only has 4 people.
I
rolled
me and
30.
Paxton, it looks like.
Yeah, I rolled a 22.
Okay, well, how about everybody reload the Roll20 page, because I'm seeing everybody here.
Okay, because I'm seeing anybody. I couldn't even get mine to let me open up the character sheet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, even...
No, it's still 4. I have...
Yeah,
I think... Yep.
Mine just straight up isn't loading.
Mine's not loading either.
I'm stuck at a white screen.
Yep.
All right. You know what? It sounds like Roll20 is sick today. So why don't we just roll this into next session?
Okay.
We only have about 5 minutes, and
it's rolling. It's loading now.
I got
and there's only
Mine
4
isn't. I'm still
Okay,
stuck.
what 4 are who's showing up right now? What 4?
Koza, Baranor, and Axton.
Yep.
Koza.
So missing Kravish and...
So what if I do this? What if I do this? Can you see Kravish now?
I can.
Yes, I do.
Okay. You had a 23?
22.
22. Okay, and what
Maeven.
about if I do this to Maeven? Can you see Maeven now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, what did
I
Maeven
can't see
have?
anything.
30.
I had to go back to like the main screen and load it from there.
I've been closing the tab and trying to re-enter, and it's just straight up not working.
Oh damn.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
that's okay. That's all right. We'll just we'll do a couple rounds and get through it as best we can. So in that case, instead of Kravish being first, it's definitely Maeven. Maeven, what would you like to do?
Excuse me. I would like to.
Punch him in the face.
Yep, pretty much. No punching. I know better than that. I'm gonna take my. Do I need to be like
Take
here?
your whipping stick.
Right there. Yeah, my quarterstaff, and schwack it a couple times.
So you're technically in its space. It's gargantuan.
Okay.
So if you were to move here,
Like-
you can imagine 5 by 5 blocks. It's just the picture of it happens to be taking
Okay.
up a little
Gotcha.
more than half.
So then I'm and hit it a couple times with the staff. Well, that's a natty 1. So we're off to a
Oh.
great start. And then 25 to hit
Hey.
25 does hit the Alpha Beast.
for 13 damage. And then I'll spend a key point to do patient defense, a dodge action as a bonus
right.
action.
If you want to go ahead and move just outside that square, that is its area
Okay.
of effect. But that's cool. How much damage you say?
13.
13. All right. You hit it with your quarterstaff, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right on. Okay. Kravish, you are next.
I am next. All right. So with my main action, I am going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Okie dokie.
Lady Fairies are up.
See some. Yeah, okay.
15-foot aura.
All right. Are you going to actively designate the Gnodans as allies?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am going to move up just right over this way so that I can give it a little burn.
Okay. Let me roll a wisdom check from him, right? It's a -1 on his wisdom. Not great. That's a flat 10.
Good. That sucks. 2 1s and a 4. 6 points of radiant damage.
All right. Radiant damage does do an effect on this creature. He's not immune or resistant.
All right. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to give my sweet Babu a die of Bardic Inspiration. And I'm going to use one of Anthem's Edge's charges to make it a D8 and a D6.
Okay. Maeven, you are inspired. Bling.
So it's a D8 and a D6? Is that what I heard? Make
Correct.
sure I heard
Yes.
correctly. Perfect.
That is correct.
But they're rolled at the same time. You can't save them.
Gotcha.
All right. What else you got, Kravish?
And I am going to use rest of my movement just to back up a little bit. I'm not a main combatant right now.
All right. He does get an attack of opportunity against you,
How is that?
moving out of his range. That's why I put that square up there. That's okay, you said?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that would have put
Yeah.
up opportunity. I'm going to stay right where I am.
Yeah, he's gargantuan and beyond, which I think is 20 by 20. He's 5 squares by 5 squares, so he's really big.
Okay.
Oh, and I made a picture out of AI stuff, which is really awesome. You guys should see it. Okay, this is what it actually looks like, because it's insane. But you are up next. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna cast Disintegration.
Disintegration. Nice.
He's got to make a Dex save, DC 17.
A dex save, DC 17. All right. He is quite dexterous for his size. Roll. Not great. That's a 12.
Yep, he's gonna fail. So he's gonna take
100 points.
6 plus 40. So 78 points of damage.
Woo! You just shatter an entire section of his armored carapace. Just kind of withers and dusts away like
oh my goodness.
Infinity War. He got snapped.
Finally.
And don't forget, it's 10d6 plus 40 damage, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the 78 includes the 44s.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah, huge.
I finally got my roll 20 to work again.
Yay. Good, because you're next.
Yay.
Would you like to move at all?
Nope, that'll be it for me.
Okay, and we're going to end the session with after Axton's turn, which is a little further down the line. So, all right, Koza, you are next.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hit him with a tried and true moonbeam.
Cool.
He needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Con save.
Well, he still takes half.
Right.
Oh,
yes! Oh, yes! Okay. So he takes all of this. So it's 2d10.
All this up in here.
All of this. So he takes 11
Is that
points.
A 5x5 circle.
Yes, I'm gonna center it. Let's see. Where's the?
Just point where you want it. It could be anywhere in this
Yeah.
5x5 cube. Yeah. Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I did. He takes 11 points of radiant damage.
All right.
Mark that off.
It sizzles across his newly disintegrated carapace.
And then, as a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
I had to give the crowd a big "oh damn" when they saw that happen.
Boom.
I mean, you just blasted with the disintegrate beam. Just blasted this huge section of his armored carapace off his body, and the crowd just went absolutely apeshit.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from you? Bonus movement?
Nope.
Okay. Baranor, you are up next.
Alright. I'm going to move down here, then down here, and here. That's 30 feet. And I'm going to take 2 swipes at this thing with my hooked copis.
Okay.
Actually, I can't cast Shield of Faith. It's concentration.
Okay.
Well, you don't have that extra protection. Boo.
Ew.
But good catch.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
Alright. 12 points of necrotic.
All right.
Second swipe. That definitely hits as well.
Even better.
For 7 more.
And you get the sense that this thing has an AC of 20.
Okay.
Like you just barely sunk your blade into it. So you guys can keep track of that if you wish.
Good. I'll have to remember for, next week. I guess that's... Yeah, that's all I'm going to do.
Okay. That is your turn. It is the Alpha Beast's turn. He is going to spin around and face Kravish and the others. He is going to leap into the air.
He started his turn in the sphere. He started his turn in my sphere there, so...
Okay. Well, you're right. That's wisdom.
We also cannot see his turn marker.
You what?
We can't see his turn marker.
Oh, really? Why won't it? You know what? I'm just going to ungroup and get rid of this square because that's messing it up.
Okay.
Is that square like his size?
Yeah, that's his size.
Yeah, his size is 5x5, so just keep that in mind. All right.
Oh God!
And his turn.
He's on top of me.
He's not. I got to move him back. Don't worry.
I know.
All right. Let's get that, and then there we go. Okay. Everybody see that now?
Yep, got it.
Okay, cool. He's there. All right. Okay, yeah, he's going to leap in the air. Baranor, you can go ahead and roll an attack of opportunity because he's going to move out of your melee. He's going to leap into the air about 30 feet and land exactly on top of Kravish, and he's going to catch everybody. Koza, Axton, and Kravish in this slam that he uses. So I need everyone to make a dex save, please.
Did he fail his wisdom save?
Let's see, what did I get? I got a 14.
That fails because it's wisdom saving throw. It's DC 15, I think.
Okay, yeah, he takes full damage. Go ahead and roll that.
Okay.
9 more points of
That's a
necrotic.
19. You take half of this.
9 more necrotic damage.
16 rather, excuse me. Okay.
And let's see. Ooh, bad on the Spirit Guardians.
No,
Bad on the deck saves, guys. Except for... you passed, so you take half. Axon fails. Koza fails. Maeven, you don't have to roll because you're not... I don't think you're there. I think you're on the other side.
I'm over here.
He's below it now.
Where are you? Yeah, you're not... I don't think you're there.
Okay. I'm right here.
Unless you're hiding behind somebody. No, you're on the other side of it.
Okay.
It missed you. Just missed you.
Cool.
Okay.
For me.
Kravish, that's a that's a fail. So everybody failed except for really. Okay, so let's see what you take as it slams into you. 25 is failing. Kadoosh.
Ow.
Yeah. Skadoosh. And 12 is passing, so you take 12. It is then going to attempt to pinch Axton, and it's going to attempt to pinch Kravish. Let's see if this hits. If it does, I need you to make strength saves.
Who's it hitting first?
He's going to hit Axton first with a pinch move.
Yes.
That's a 16 to hit. That does not hit you, I believe.
Nope.
And against Kravish, he's going to hit you with a 13. So he goes to snap at you guys, and you guys are just able to kind of dart out of the way since you're already kind of on the move from when it landed. That's going to end his turn. However, he is now kind of on top of all of you. So yeah. Axton, it is your turn.
Okay, I guess I will also do Spirit Guardians.
Do you know how to do it?
I don't have like a aura or anything like that.
Okay, it's real simple. You go into you click on your character, you go to the settings cog. I'm going to do it for you this one time. And then all the way at the bottom under aura, you can tint the color. Let's tint the color a different color. And then what's the radius?
15-foot radius.
I'd like to know where it is. So I click on my cell, I click on where? Settings?
The
gear
settings cog that pops up when you click on your character. At least that's how it looks for me. I don't know. I'm the DM, so maybe I have
I don't think
different
it
rights.
comes up for me anymore.
Okay. Well, what's the radius? I'll do it for now, and we can figure it out for next session.
15 feet.
15 feet. 15 feet in each direction. Okay. Good enough. Let's see. There we go. Okay.
Whoa.
Bit of a Venn diagram. He's going to make a wisdom save.
I only see one circle.
Yeah, just mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I know why. No. Give me 1 second. I know why. It's because for some reason it keeps resetting the permissions. Yeah. There you go.
Hey! Now it is a Venn diagram.
Okay. A wisdom save for Axton's Spirit Guardians is going to bring up a total of 8.
Little fail.
So wise.
Yeah, he's real wise. He's a fire sea bug
So that takes
because
3
monsters are
D8.
bugs.
So I don't have anything done up for that yet. So dice D8 takes 11 damage, radiant.
11 damage. All right.
I then use my action search, and then I guess I'll take 2 large swings at it.
Okay. With bleeder.
With the bleeder, yeah.
Nice.
That's 18 to hit. I'm gonna use
18.
my precision.
Yeah, that's gonna miss.
I'm gonna use my
You want to use
precision.
precision. Okay.
I have to roll a D8. Still misses with a 19.
Yeah. He's got a hardy carapace, and although a large portion of it was blasted away, he's kind of moving around too. His big legs are kind of stomping around all of you.
And my second.
Okay.
26 to hit.
26. That hits. Hold up now.
That's
Is that
crit.
a 19?
It is.
That crits.
It's already rolled the crit.
Okay. 13 slashing, 1 bleeding, and he's going to have to make a medicine check on his turn if he wants to stop bleeding.
Oh, because it is a crit, I will use menacing attack.
Cool. That's another wisdom?
Yes. And that will be doubled. So that's 3 is actually...
Yeah. And that's a fail, so he's frightened of you.
That's right. All attacks he makes are at disadvantage as long as I'm within him.
That's
And
right.
he can't move towards me, but he's on me.
Yep. He can't get no closer. Yeah, you really freaked him out.
If he did, y'all be getting married.
That's right.
And my bonus
Anything else for your turn?
I'll use my second wind to heal. So
Okay.
1d10. So 7 plus 6 is 13.
All right, Maeven, as you watch this creature leap into the air over you and just plant itself and flatten out several of your friends, you see Axton kind of swinging at it hard and trying to get and make some purchase. You see him slice a big chunk of it off. You realize that you're kind of primed for a shot at its backside, and as you're strategizing your next move, we're gonna end the session there and pick up in it.
All right.
Okay.
So, as it stands, Maeven is up with Pravish and Yuno on deck after her. And yeah, we'll pick right back up here on our next session, and we'll see just what this thing has as far as a challenge. Kill it. Frickin' heroes of another plane of existence.
I mean, I feel it that we're gonna accomplish that.
All right, well, Steph, welcome back. I'm glad that you're going to be sticking around for a few sessions.
Yay!
Oh yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah. We're looking at the 10th of February for our next session.
That's just after my 21st birthday.
Woo woo!
Good going.
The first session we've
Don't drink UV blue.
Okay, noted.
What'd you say, Barry?
I think this is the second session after my birthday. My birthday was back in January 7th.
Oh, well, happy
late
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah, I get the big 5-0 on the 5th.
Wow.
Hey.
It's going to be a whole bunch of birthdays celebrate. So we're going to make sure Noah's not too hungover for his session.
Don't worry, I won't be.
Good.
Or
But this was really
make
fun.
it,
I'm
or
really glad to have you
them.
guys back. This year looks like it's really kicking off good with what's going on. I'm looking forward to the future of the Crown Collector. You guys take care, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.